with the weather, or do you want me to?
I mean, I'll quickly get into you.
Is known for their help
it's
with
fine.
I'll just say
colors.
you're
No,
there,
that's
and then
fine.
we
The
can just
paint
start.
store
cool.
in Van Buren shares their expert advice from 35 years of experience.
What are we
If you haven't
expected to
been
get
to the
down
paint
to
store in
today?
Van Buren, you are missing out.
Like,
How about
what's
you
the
give them a
temperature
shout
now?
next
What are
time
we
you
getting
need
to?
some real life help you can't get on YouTube.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. Does your yard need to be serviced in the fall and winter months? Of course. A Cut Above is with you every step of the way. Whether it's commercial or residential,
Do I sound
a Cut
clear,
Above can
Edward?
handle all your needs.
Everything
Tree
good?
service, stump
All right.
grinding, brush off,
Yeah, you
full
sound good,
landscaping.
Chuck.
Plus,
Okay.
a Cut Above can take care of all your leaf removal.
Call or text today at 479-719-5605.
That's a Cut Above, 719-5605.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. My buddy Simon Wheeler with Wheeler Power Sports stopped by the studio.
If you have a name brand motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side you would consider selling or trading, call or text or use bike buyers at 479-783-5822 or visit us online at wheelerpowersports.com. Buy, sell, or trade Wheeler is the one for 2025. Proud to be Fort Smith's authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and Slingshot.
Simon Wheeler at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith. Keeping the
Simon
good
Wheeler.
times rolling since 1967.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
You're not going to get penalized for losing over there.
How do we feel about Chuck's word usage of the P word?
What are we talking about?
Penalized versus penalized.
Like when you play golf and you use the word penal. You don't say that's penal. You guys have the most limited vocabulary of any group of morons I've ever been around. Seriously, you guys are idiots. I'm not saying anymore. You guys are idiots. I'm not going to be made fun of for using a normal word.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night, love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, let's turn on the Chuck and Bo
There we
show.
go.
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still happy.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Well, this is as warm as it's going to be all day. So if you've got your cup of coffee and your choice of breakfast bar or whatever it is that you've gotten into, maybe you got up early just to look outside and, hey, is it snowing yet? No, but it's coming, and this is as warm as it'll be all day. It's 31 in Fayetteville. It's going to get down to a nice high of 24. And then later on, it's going to keep plummeting. And that will be a low of 3. And tomorrow we're looking at a -8 situation. Meanwhile, 8 to 12 inches of snow for those in the northwest Arkansas and northern part of the state. The further south you go, it turns into more sleet. I'm not a weather guy, but we will keep you updated as at 34 degrees, Chuck's joining us from the plains, down on the plains in Auburn, Alabama, where there is no game tonight. But he got out ahead of the posse. The snowman.
That's right. Team got here last night, and they'll practice today. And it's the temperature actually right now is not that different than it is in Fayetteville. The difference is during the day today, it's going to raise. It's going to go up about 25 degrees here, and it's going to go down about 25 degrees there, I guess, by the time we get to nightfall.
So all the models, Chuck, and you're more of a
I keep
weather
up with it.
Aficionado than myself, but all of the models are agreeing on snow, which doesn't always happen. They have sometimes conflicting reports from their different models, and this is all in on we're getting a foot of snow, basically, at least significant amounts of snowfall in the northern and northwestern part of our state. And it's going, I think, to be as significant from what we're being told as anything we've seen in quite some time. And I don't know about you. I don't know if it really matters. You, Bart, you, Edward. I don't know. Have you guys stocked up on the groceries? Are y'all ready? Y'all ready?
We should be good.
Yeah,
You ready?
We'll be all right.
Yeah. Okay. Because there's not going to be any leaving your house for like weeks. You realize?
Snowbound.
Weeks.
We're going to be building igloos.
Yeah. Yeah. You should have heard Bart
Ice fishing.
when he walked in today. He was ready, Chuck. He was telling me exactly how bad it's going to be. So we go live to the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room right out of the gate. And Bart, how bad is it?
Well, I mean, we're looking at a significant, snowfall event. We're looking at, I believe, one local meteorologist. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head, but one of them called it a snow fire hose. So basically, it's just going to be.
Wait, you didn't remember who said that?
I'm trying to.
That's a pretty good line.
I'm trying to find it now. It was Darby Bybee, 4029. Darby Bybee.
Have you noticed that Darby Bybee, ever since we had Dan Scoff on the show, has been trying to help us?
Yeah, I appreciate that.
We do.
I really do.
We do. We'll reach out to either one of those guys to see who wants to join us first today. Yeah. I was going to text Dan Scoff at 5:43, and I thought that might have been a little early. He's probably getting.
I bet one of them's up.
Yeah.
I bet one of those regular weather guys is up. He's already rolling up his sleeves.
Listen.
He's getting that shirt on. He's getting the sleeves rolled up. He's preparing for the day. Not shaving. Not shaving.
You can't.
And you got to have that look going today.
100%. And by the way, priority boarding. If you have any sort of weather background, you're a current weather employee. You're an employee of the weather.
Does the weather have
Yeah,
employees?
yeah. Do you get your tax returns and your, all that documentation's coming
Mother
right
Nature.
now? You go to H&R Block to get your taxes done. Who do you work for? The weather. All of it. I work for God. I'm
That's
here.
a pretty big flex, honestly.
Yeah, I'm here, man. But you get priority boarding today, 877-377-6963 on the Chuck and Bo Show. And I'm already making plans to not be here tomorrow, Chuck.
Well, I wondered, what you guys were thinking.
I'm thinking I should have never left Scottsdale is what I'm thinking.
Well, I don't blame you there. I got to be honest. I wish this was a home game this week. I don't like winter, but I do enjoy snow when it happens. So I'm kind of missing being there.
It is an event.
I'd like to be in the middle of the action today.
Bart called it correctly, a snow event. I am all for the snow event, but then after about 24 hours, I'm ready to move on from it.
I hear you.
Like that. It goes from being fun. At some point, when is it that it goes from being fun to inconvenient? Does anybody know when that is? Is it 24 hours? By Friday. Okay.
Thursday, late
Just
Thursday,
annoying.
Friday.
It goes from being fun to annoying.
I'm going to be ready for spring after this. I mean, after this, it's going to be time for
This
spring.
is it for you?
Yeah.
I'm over
This will
it.
be two. This will be two, and this is going to be, if everybody's correct, it's going to be a pretty big one. So after this, it's just time to move to the next season.
So baseball, yeah, I agree.
I love that.
Yeah, that's good.
perfect.
That's a great way to look at it. So baseball got their 4-game series in. They navigated the weather. They went 4-0 against Washington State. They got great pitching
They're
from their
good.
starters.
They're good. They're deep, and they're good.
They're going to go to Global Life.
Globe
They
Life
are.
Field in Arlington, yeah.
So
Very nice ballpark, by the way.
Very
Step
nice.
up in competition. There'll be Razorback fans there. It'll. We talk about an event. I mean, that'll feel like an event, and so good for them. It looks like he's got a really good team.
Yeah, here's what he said about things he may or may not have learned over the weekend.
It's kind of what I've seen throughout the fall and the spring, really. I wouldn't say that I learned a whole lot. You just get to see somebody out there competing against another team when it matters, and sometimes you see guys that really step it up. But we feel like we've got a lot of guys that are gamer type guys. But what really jumped out at me was Thomas's at bats were really good. He got his hits, he took his walks, and could flip him to the top of the order if we needed to. But I like it. That's a threat down there.
I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't even say Dave Van Horn's name. I said he.
Didn't have to.
Like, you don't even have to DVH.
Is that a capital H?
Van Horn.
Capital H on
It's like, wow. I just did that. I just said he, like everybody knows who you're talking about. 9 College World Series appearances will do that to you.
pretty much you're right, though. I mean, when you start talking about Arkansas baseball, you say he said.
You
I
know
think pretty
exactly.
much everyone assumes it's DVH.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, I don't know what you did last night, Chuck. When you got there, I'd love to. Actually, before we go anywhere else, I'd love to know. We always want to know kind of what you do on the road, and I just feel like one of these times you're going to surprise us, and you're going to say you did
I'm not
something.
going to surprise you this morning. I went for a walk.
That's
Right, we're
great.
staying right here on the campus, so I went for a little walk and came back and thought briefly about the show, and then went to bed.
Sent no texts.
It's pretty
Thought
boring.
briefly about the show. Didn't share any of my thoughts.
No.
Do you remember
no,
what you
then
thought? Do you remember what crossed your mind about the show?
No, the operative word there is briefly, like maybe less than 5 seconds.
Yeah. Oh,
So
wow.
it's not like I came in conclusions or anything. I just knew that I was paying attention to the weather. You know, it's interesting. I mean, we all got down here last night, and all anybody was doing was playing on their phones, trying to find out when it was going to start snowing back home.
Yeah, and how long you might be stuck there.
Yeah, I mean that's today's going to be a team's going to practice at noon. They're letting everybody sleep in today. I don't think anybody on the staff's going to see 9 o'clock, honestly, but they're going to practice at noon. They'll go back over there tonight and kind of get in their their normal game day routine, game trip routine. They always go to the arena and shoot on Friday or the night before the game, and then have a game day practice. So they'll practice for 2 hours midday today in the arena and go back over there tonight, have their game day practice tomorrow. And, in a situation like this, and anybody who's traveled with a team probably understands, you're just trying to keep everybody occupied. I mean, you got a lot of time to kill. You're just trying to keep everybody occupied.
Different kind of trip, for sure.
Yeah.
Wonder how it impacts them, if at all.
Well, one thing, and look, Auburn's heavily favored, and there's a reason for that. But I do like the fact that Arkansas will practice in the arena today. It's not like they're having to go to a high school or an auxiliary facility or something like that. They're going to go into the arena today and practice. They'll shoot there tonight. They'll have a game day practice tomorrow. I'm not saying that that's going to make Auburn any less of a team, because it's not. But I do think that, maybe a little bit more familiarity with the arena. Although I will say Auburn, they get on you there. I think it's the toughest road environment in our league. When they built that gym, and it's more of a gym than an arena. 9,200 seats in there, and man, they fill it up every time. And there's a lot of noise in that building. It is a tough place to play.
Bruce Pearl flipped the Auburn program when he got there. I mean, this
Made
is
basketball matter.
Yeah, the total turnaround job. I'm trying to. How long has he been there now? I'm going to look. He got to Auburn in 2014. It's hard to believe it's been that long.
11
Has it really? 11 years?
Thank you, Edward.
Wow.
11 years. And
You got to remember, when he got fired at Tennessee, I mean, he was dead in the water.
Yeah. He used to come
Auburn
on the
gave him
show.
a shot.
He used to come
Yeah.
on the show we did then. He was in the media. You kind of wondered what would be next. I mean, he's always been a good coach. Always sweated right through those suits.
Boy, he does, man.
Did he stop wearing suits completely?
He has. I mean, he wears the polo shirt, and it's maybe a size too small sometimes. And but he rocks that polo over there, and I mean, by the end of the game, it looks like he's played a round of golf in July.
Yes, for sure.
I mean, he
Yeah,
just
yeah.
I mean, he's wringing wet.
He has. He does look like he. Yeah, that's exactly right. And he's done a great job. And I remember when they built that arena. Look, it's not that. Here's what's kind of remarkable about the SEC. It's not that long ago when we stunk as a conference. Like, we were terrible. And Bruce Pearl went to Auburn around that time. And were it not for the mandate, like, you guys got to go hire better coaches from the commissioner's office, I mean, maybe Bruce Pearl ends up in another league. But we are a league of second chances. And it has worked out for Auburn.
That's true. We have a forgiving spirit in the South, don't we?
It just means more here in the South. But I remember when they built that building, because in the SEC, we complain sometimes about crowd sizes And I think there's a variety of factors now that we didn't even have back then, but nobody cared about midweek basketball games in this league outside of Kentucky. And Arkansas was second to Kentucky in crowd sizes, for any game, but really midweek games. But they built that arena realizing, we can't get 15, 20,000 people here on a regular basis. But to his credit, and Winning will do this, they've nicknamed it the Jungle, and it gets referred to like it's hell to play in. And it just goes to show you things can change, and they have changed there. And Bud Walton Arena is a great insurance policy for winning, because when you win, the insurance policy pays off. When you start rolling, when you start winning, and you get that environment going, Bud Walton can be as good as anywhere in the country. And that's what they're experiencing in Auburn right now. And that's what Arkansas will walk into. The thing about this team that we keep talking about, Chuck, I have yet to see an environment too big for this team.
No, I don't think they'll wilt. Look, Auburn, to me, the advantage of playing, or for Auburn, the advantage of playing there is what it does for them. They make three-pointers from 30 feet. They just, and of course they get most calls. But I don't think Arkansas is going to be intimidated by that. Look, they've played in the Garden this year. They've played in Lexington when the entire state was booing them from the moment they walked out of the locker room. So they've been in those situations before. They may lose, I don't know, but it's not going to be because of the crowd.
We'll do a weather update when we come back. We'll take calls, texts, whatever you want to do today. Chuck and I we're open to things that you have on your mind. We got plenty to get to as well. Matt Zimmerman, if he wakes up later, like if he's awake for the day.
He's 4 doors down. I'll go bang on his door.
Do you think he can hear you from there?
I don't know. We talked about it last night. He was very happy that he was going to be 4 or 5 doors down. I'm not afraid to bang on his wall every once in a while.
Would have been poetic if he'd have been 3 doors down.
Oh, I know. Well, it would have been. You're right.
Better. Hey, taxes are hard, and tax season is here. If you need help, H&R Block is ready. Walk in or make an appointment. Get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed with 70 years of tax expertise going to work for you at H&R Block. It's already getting to be 30 and maybe under, and it's only going down the rest of the day. Snow is expected when, Bart, in sort of the northwest area of our state?
Starting as soon as 9 a.m.
Yeah.
More like 10 a.m. for a larger majority.
The countdown is on. Look for the countdown in the bottom right of your screen, whatever you're watching, wherever you are, whether it's us or anybody else. It'll be there.
Countdown to snowpocalypse.
Well, it is countdown to get your stuff, get your groceries. Get
your bread and milk so you can make your milk sandwiches.
You still have time. It's 6:18 on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. I'm not telling you that everything's great. I'm also not willing to say everything's terrible.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
When you bank at First Security, you're choosing better for yourself and fellow Arkansans. Better service from friendly professionals who really invest in your goals. Better solutions with convenient tools and smart resources. And better support for the things that matter to you, as well as the communities that matter to us all. Because finding your better at First Security makes Arkansas better too. First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
2025 is here, and Fayetteville Auto Park is making it easier than ever to elevate your drive during our New Year sale. Every pre-owned vehicle, hundreds and hundreds to choose from, all with clearance pricing for a limited time. That's right, Fayetteville Auto Park has clearance priced every used car, truck, and SUV in stock. One-owner trades, budget buys, luxury vehicles, off-lease cars, even certified pre-owned, with special finance rates and warranties up to 100,000 miles. Buy now at all 4 Fayetteville Auto Park locations. That's Acura of Fayetteville, Honda of Fayetteville, Toyota of Fayetteville, and Chevrolet of Fayetteville. It's time to drive in 2025, and no one makes it easier than Fayetteville Auto Park. Take advantage of clearance pricing on every pre-owned vehicle now during our New Year sale. Limited time only at Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. FayettevilleAutoPark.com.
Bro, when your show went off a few years ago, it was like I've been lost ever since then. And I just really appreciate your show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I know we're always on the go, heading to Fayetteville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and you need a place to fill up. But not just for gas. I need snacks, drinks, and a restroom that doesn't make me throw up. That's why my new favorite pit stop is Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue on the way out of town. I can't stop by without getting something from their hot box or a fresh-made burger. That's Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, Ty Richardson here at First Financial Mortgage, my mortgage lender, Ethan Adamson. Ethan, congratulations, over 300 five-star reviews.
Yeah, Ty, we pride ourselves on delivering a 5-star service during the entire mortgage process.
What sets you apart from everyone else?
I think communication, how quickly we work, we get you closed on time or early. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5, ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
Basketballs bounce, cheerleaders cheer, and fans are flocking to the Paint Store in Van Buren. The Paint Store in Van Buren is known for their color matching. The Paint Store in Van Buren is known for their help with color selection. The Paint Store in Van Buren shares their expert advice from 35 years of experience. If you haven't been to the Paint Store in Van Buren, you are missing out. How about you give them a shout next time you need some real-life help you can't get on YouTube?
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
We just went through our first Sunday since the summer without football. Everything was so strange yesterday. I know this is the time of year when you get things done on Sundays. Let me just state for the record, I don't like getting things done on Sunday. I like laying around on Sunday. It's a day of rest. It's biblical.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I think this is the perfect time to maybe mention that I just saw this on Twitter. Phil Steele has tweeted.
Oh.
And it's
Phil Steele sighting in the winter.
Right. It's a whiteboard, and he's written on this whiteboard and with giant words and letters and numbers. 108 days till magazine goes to press.
Wow.
The Phil Steele magazine. 108 days away as we face Snowmageddon.
Wow.
Man. Yeah.
Something to look forward
we all
to.
hang our
That'll
hat
get
on.
you through.
The Bible.
That'll get you through all
The
this.
Bible of college football. Preview magazine. For play-by-play guys everywhere. And Bart.
I remember
Gotta
when
have it.
that was a absolute must-have. I mean, the actual physical magazine back in the day.
Well,
now I guess you can go online and get all.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, nobody does it quite
I
like
like
Phil
Phil
Steele.
Steele. No,
but
I
more
know,
than
I
anything,
know.
more than anything, it just signifies that football is closer than you think.
That's right.
And you know,
108 days.
it's like SEC
Till it goes to
media
press.
days. Yeah. By the way, they're already talking about expanding the playoff. And the SEC
saw that.
and Big Ten are apparently they've taken great steps in controlling the college football world, if not the entire world.
It's going to happen. I mean, look, I've said it before, and I think I'm not the only one. You don't need 12 teams to determine who's going to win the national championship, and you sure don't need 16. But, you know, that's the reality of television and money and another round. And you know what another round of playoff college football means in terms of revenue? I mean, it's just incredible. And, yeah, the SEC and Big Ten are going to run the show.
We'll get into this a little bit later because there's a lot to talk about there, including the SEC has become like a political conversation. Like, I don't know what side, if it's the right or the left or whatever, but you've got people out there writing. Yeah. well, I know too, but I mean, you know, it's like a political conversation now. Like, you've got these writers, you know, just sort of like really upset that we're so full of ourselves in this part of the world. And certainly Greg Sankey will in 4 years be running for president when he finishes his reign as the college football king over the next 4 years as head of the SEC.
Sankey could help himself a little bit, and I like Greg Sankey a lot. He could help himself a little bit if he didn't try to sound like a PhD every time he talks.
He's well-read.
I think that hurts him. Nothing wrong with being well-read. He's a smart guy with a massive vocabulary, and you guys know I appreciate a massive vocabulary. But
a bunch of idiots.
There are times when it sounds like he's talking down to people. And it would be nice if maybe he could speak a little bit more in the language of the common man.
What makes it sound like you're talking
that in a loving
down to
way
people?
Because I think he uses a lot of words that most people in the South don't use every day. Just to be real. Listen to him talk.
Yeah. Well,
look,
I know.
Don't turn this into like Chuck's criticizing the commissioner because I'm not.
Not on
I'm
me.
just saying
I
that
am actually.
think he hurts himself sometimes when he does that.
It's fair. I'm going a different direction. I'm actually thinking, if you're smart, how do you avoid sounding like you are? And it was just a topic that I find interesting. It's like I watched this 30 for 30 thing with Cal last night. The 30 for 30, not the Razor's Edge new show on Vice. I watched that too. But they had Cal's 30 for 30 on that came out back in 2017.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was a great, and I encourage everyone to go watch it, even if you saw it the first time, because you will watch it in a completely different way than you did the first time. And for years, we all sat around talking about Cal being a cheater. And it's never been proved on any level that he ever did anything wrong. And in watching that documentary again last night, it was just interesting to me to see how narratives are created and how they go, and that historically is what you get out of something like that, to then go back and watch it years later. And now you're watching a new show about him. And the reality that I come to with this guy is that this coach that's done all these amazing things, that's in the Hall of Fame, he's always been the same guy. Still the same guy today. He's a player's first guy. He's a player's first coach. But when you talk about being smart and doing something really well and being successful, when anyone's like that, we're like, that guy's talking down to me. Not that Sankey does. I understand what Chuck's point was, but I like Cal got tagged, and like his personality adds to that because of the way he is, and he's got a lot of bravado and a lot of confidence. But we tend to label people and then we just stick them there. Like, I mean, Greg Sankey does sound like that, but I don't think he's trying to.
I don't think so either.
And I agreed. I
don't think that has anything to do
point.
either with whether or not the playoffs going to expand, and they're going to get this done. I just think I'm talking about the people around the country who
they don't like the SEC because it's been so successful.
That's a big part of it. Yes.
And that's now becoming a thing where people are like, they're like, who do these guys think they are? Because they had a down year and now they're trying to take control of the whole thing. But look, eyeballs, it's the same reason the Big Ten's relevant. Eyeballs. It does matter. It is relevant. And it is the most relevant in college football. But we'll talk more later. We just talked about it more than I expected here in the moment. But we'll talk more about it later on this expansion to 14 to 16 teams. But we got a text here, Chuck.
All right.
That Arkansas plays best. This is Reaper. Reaper has texted in. Great name, by the way.
Don't fear the Reaper.
Reaper in Kibler.
I know where Kibler is.
Well, good. Arkansas plays best in big game environments. Your thoughts on it, Bo? So, Chuck, go ahead.
Well, okay. What were your thoughts on that?
Well, I just made the comment earlier that there hasn't been an environment that felt too big for them.
Yeah.
Now, look, Auburn's the best team they've played.
I would imagine that they'll play very, very hard tonight. I don't. Look, lots of times teams will bounce back after a good tongue lashing, and it sounds like they kind of got one the other night. And so I would expect Arkansas to play maybe with a lot more spirit, I mean, I would expect them to obviously have an emphasis on protecting the ball. Auburn is number one for a reason, and I've not seen anything this year that makes me believe that Auburn's not going to win the national championship. I mean, they're going to have a bad day. And they're going to have to play less than what they've played tomorrow night. But sometimes that happens. I mean, they just won a big game on Saturday. Their biggest game. Number one beat number two. And I'm sure that, they've been told how great they are ever since. So, and they are great. And I also know that, again, they're going to be heavily favored. They are heavily favored, and they should be. But I don't expect Arkansas. I'm like you. I don't expect Arkansas to be intimidated. I do think big-time players like big-time games, and I expect Arkansas to play well tomorrow night.
We're getting requests for Majestic Storm.
She's popular.
Yeah, we got Danskoff, we got Darby Bybee, we've got Majestic Storm request. Anybody else? Jim Cantori, is he around? Well, we also have Bart, and we have Bart's cutout in your seat.
I noticed that earlier. Yeah, I noticed that.
With your hat
That's
on.
a nice touch.
Yeah.
That's a nice touch.
Maybe Bart is the Chuck and Bo mascot.
Oh, what?
My hat
Maybe that's what we have here.
big for Bart's head.
I don't know.
I have an enormous dome, so it does seem a little bit large.
It's because you're smarter than everyone.
You
talk down to people.
That's right.
Because you're imagine anybody from the Big Ten talking about talking down to people. All those smart people with those.
You're making more of a big deal out of this than I intended.
I was latching on to something that I find interesting, and I wasn't trying to double down on the Greg Sankey comment. But when somebody's smart, we automatically think they're talking down to us, and the reality is we're just pissed that they're smarter than we are.
Well, maybe so. Maybe so.
6:33. Good morning. We're brought to you in part by First Security Bank. They're all about Arkansans. They're all about local, convenient locations. They're all about a friendly environment and the Razorbacks. Stop by a location. You'll find out exactly what I mean. They can help you bank better in every way, and you can bank online, fsbank.com. First Security Bank, member FDIC, the official bank of the Chuck and Bo Show. Back in a minute. Good morning. It is going to be cold and snowing all day.
That's the actual question. What the hell's going on around here?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweat No Edge is all about. It's where health, Confidence and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to SweatingThemCosmetic.com and click on the Sweating 'em Edge. If you're having issues with your gutters or drainage around the house, you need to call Hog Trough Gutters. They're locally owned and operated with over 30 years of experience. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drains. Plus, they're fully licensed and insured, and every job comes with a 20-year guarantee. Hog Trough Gutters services all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Log on to their website, hoggutters.com, to find out more. That's hog, Gutters.com.
We take 2 planes in basketball. Needless to say, I'm on plane 2.
But you are the king of plane 2.
5 seconds to go. Madden, right side. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Qualls with the dunk at the buzzer. It goes and Arkansas wins. It goes and Arkansas wins. Qualls with a 2-hand finish. Arkansas wins the ball game.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You may know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, and Matt talk about our 3 ups and downs for the weekend every Monday on halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cabe, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics.
Now 17 years in the industry. What all y'all service here at Jazzco?
Logos, we do food trucks, cars, we do custom banners, signs for big and small businesses. We do logos, stickers, you name it, we just about do it all right here at Jazzco. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
They got to understand, Luka's a different beast, man. He smokes, he drinks, he overeats.
He's the Babe Ruth.
He is.
He's
He is the Babe Ruth of the NBA, and they need to leave him alone.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, well, this is developing rapidly, and I'm not talking about the weather, but we'll get to that. Bart has, Chuck, a lock has come upon him.
Uh-oh.
The spirit of a lock. It's developing rapidly. About 5 minutes ago, it was, ooh, look at that. By, 4 minutes later, it was, oh, I think we got one here. That's what it's, that's the live look at Bart's brain developing a lock, like in real time.
So what do you got?
Well, I don't know if this is the game that I would choose to make a lock, but I would call it a red alert game. Like this we gotta make up new terminology as we go here.
Red alert.
Texas A&M is in Starkville tonight at the Hump Dump, Chuck, and the Bulldogs are a 2.5-point favorite, and that just strikes me as really odd. And the reason it strikes me as odd is because Texas A&M is obviously a very good team, top 10 team in the country, but I think this is a matchup nightmare for them. And so, yeah, I think, and you see the line like that, and you see what Vegas is thinking, and it makes you think something's up. And it makes you think that Mississippi State is the side to play in that game.
They've been kind of streaky. In fact, they were kind of going through a period there where I wondered if it wasn't starting to slip away a little bit. But then they go to Ole Miss. They go to Ole Miss and beat them. And, beat them, at times they were beating them pretty good. So, evidently Mississippi State, is turning it around a little bit. I'm sure that performance in Oxford's got a lot to do with the line. I know there's going to be a lot of maroon in that gym because when Texas A&M and Mississippi State play each other, it's hard to tell them apart sometimes. But that'll be a good game. It'll be an ugly game, I'll bet. But
it'll be disgusting.
It'll be close.
So it's a red alert. We don't.
Yeah.
You're not full blown lock on that.
No, because it's still
back and forth.
At the end of the day,
hedged.
it's still Mississippi State, and I still just do not trust the basketball program at Mississippi State.
Okay.
I like Chris Jans. I think he's a good coach, but
that seems emotional though. That doesn't seem like there's any basis to that.
It's just
he's basing it on his disdain for the hump.
He
doesn't like the hump.
Have you noticed this about Bart? Like he gets emotional about certain things, and then you can't trust him all of a sudden. Like before, it's kind of like logical, reasonable.
When's
there's
the last
some
time
data
Mississippi
behind
State
that.
basketball won a big game?
And then when you get like on one, it's like you go from a man of integrity to completely like just no character.
Wow.
That's
a steep drop.
Falls apart. It is.
I don't think
that's
what
a
It's you can't be trusted. Wow. That's what I mean. When you get like the other day. You went from this upstanding, like, I would trust you. You have all my passwords. I do trust you. You could get in my bank account and I could be empty tomorrow. And then you get emotional and it's like Doug Schall should be banned from the game. And I'm like, I can't trust this guy.
Bart for life.
Bart for life. Like Pete Rose, like he bet on baseball.
Hey, Doug Schall's
Hey,
mine.
Oh, knock that off.
When it comes to the Situation Room, you're either in or you're out.
That's right.
There's
That's true.
not any gray area.
You get whatever comes out of there in the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room. By the way, because we have weather today, we need like weather music, Chuck.
We really
And
do.
I think so today and here and now, we are going to make a decision on what we're going to use the rest of the show. Maybe it's just for today.
All right.
Maybe it'll be long term. But for today, we need to make a decision on what we want to use for the rest of the day. As by the way, the countdown is on. You got about an hour, 2 hours and 17 minutes before you get to the store. And then it's time to just batten down the hatches and lock everything, get inside. You're not coming out for a few days, maybe a week, maybe 2.
Sounds like everything's closed down already.
Well,
I mean, people
really?
have just
The grocery
boarded up
stores
their
are
homes.
shut down?
Not the grocery
Well,
stores.
I mean, not
but
the grocery
schools,
stores, but like the
are out.
schools
Oh,
and everything.
yeah,
Homes are boarded up.
The university.
Everybody's getting ready.
Yeah, that one
Which
kinda-
homes?
I mean, yeah, some homes.
That's what
Should
Chuck
have been
spent
boarded
doing
up for
yesterday.
years.
I knew it was serious when the Fayetteville Public Library closed. Like, people
Yeah,
can't
that's-
read today.
That's a problem.
There's no reading today, kids. Not happening. School's shut down, and you can't come here either. All right, let's get into what do we have here? We're going to pick one. Tell me what you like. That's a contender.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's in the game.
It's okay. A winter storm warning and an extreme cold warning are active. All right, let's.
Yeah, you got to try the voice with each one.
Yeah, well, I just did on that one. All right,
great.
next one.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Option 2.
Here we go. A winter storm warning and an extreme cold warning are active for parts of the listening area.
I'm going to vote no on that.
Okay.
one.
All right. Was it the voice?
No, it was the music.
Okay.
It was the music.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Just didn't go together.
Option number 3.
A winter storm warning and an extreme cold warning are active for parts of our listening area. Good morning. Majestic Bo here.
Majestic Bow. That's it. I love it.
That's good. I like that.
How do we feel about the music?
Majestic Bow.
I don't know that I feel
like
good about
option
anything
one.
that just
I
happened.
like option 1.
Option 1. Okay,
Yeah.
we
Option
got
one.
like 2 more. Edward got 5.
All right.
No? Yeah. A winter storm warning and an extreme cold warning are active for parts of our listening area.
That's a possibility. I would rate it number 2 right now.
Okay. All right. So we still the first one, still the best one. Last one, Edward. What do we have? Hurricane Bo with your weather update. A winter storm warning and an extreme cold warning are active for parts of our listening area. I'm Hurricane Bo, and you're not.
I think option 1, Majestic Bow.
All right. Here we go.
I think
You ready?
that's the.
We'll do the
deal
weather
right there.
update when we come back, right after Chuck tells us why Weichert is the place to
Bart
go,
liked-
whether you're
Bart liked the last one.
buying or selling a home, snowing or not. Weichert can take care of you, Chuck.
Hey, I'll tell you what. You call them today, they'll get to work for you. They always do. They get you from contract to close. If you're looking for a home, they find the home. First off, they've got ideas. You know, the minute you say it, it's not as though they're starting from scratch. They've been doing this a long time. As Bo's family found out, if you're a first-time home buyer, you really want a real estate pro on your side of the table because there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. And I'm not just talking about all the paperwork and everything you got to sign. I'm talking about money, stuff you might be eligible for that you don't know about. And a professional realtor can help you discover all those things. And it might be the difference in getting into exactly what you want and having to settle for something, you know, that's maybe not quite as good. And they really are, they're top shelf at doing that for you. That's what Bo's family found out, and that's what you'll find out. It's what I found out years ago. They've been doing this since 1978. That's how long they've been turning houses into homes. You can check them out at WeichertGriffin.com.
Started about a month ago and closing on the 20th. My son and daughter-in-law, grateful for Weichert and the relationship Chuck's had with him over the years, and really felt like Jerry Maguire was on our side. Found money, didn't know they had, just opportunities that are available for first-time home buyers, all that.
Couldn't be happier for them. That's
Really.
a great deal.
Yeah, it's really cool. It is. And pregnant and Papal Bo coming back with the weather next. Majestic Bobo is coming up next with your weather update.
That's funny.
6:47. Good morning.
Bo, you said something interesting. I don't think you meant to, but when you talked about those...
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Discover the Stonebreaker Hotel, where handcrafted elegance meets modern comfort. Relax in beautifully designed rooms, or book your next reservation at the Stonebreaker Lounge and Restaurant, where you can satisfy cravings with fresh, seasonal takes on traditional favorites. Open daily from 5 to 9 p.m. For more information, log on to stonebreakerhotel.com, located on Markham Road in Fayetteville, where you'll find the Stonebreaker Hotel and Restaurant. Ready or not, it is tax season, but luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Paschal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit gopaschal.com today to schedule your service. Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
Being a Razorback fan isn't just about the game. It's about the community, the tradition, and the moments that matter. At Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks, they understand the importance of those moments. That's why they offer a selection of fine jewelry that goes beyond the ordinary, just like our hogs. Visit Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Rogers, where you'll find that perfect piece to celebrate your Razorback spirit and the special moments in your life.
Fayetteville Auto Park has been Northwest Arkansas's premier automotive dealer for a long time. There's a reason for that. It starts with great brands: Acura, Chevrolet, Honda, Toyota. Plus, they've got a huge pre-owned inventory. They've got an on-site collision center. And that really is what makes them your one-stop automotive headquarters. The best brands, the best people, the best service, and the best selection. Whatever your automotive needs, Fayetteville Auto Park.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You hear that? You hear that?
Back to Save Sports Radio.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
We all make plans for the future, but car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howell in Van Buren. Hey, Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Rachel's at Papa's right now. Rachel, what do you think?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
You can check out their menu at papaspub.com. Cricket, how about you?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Come on by and see us at Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
My first thought, my subconscious was, gosh, another late game. And then my next thought was, change your flipping attitude. What's wrong with you? Quit being so negative.
What was your reply to yourself?
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Stop being so negative.
Was this a long
Embrace it.
conversation or was it a short one?
It was a short one.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck's in Auburn early. They had to get out ahead of the storm, the apocalypse, the snow apocalypse that's coming to the northwest Arkansas area. I want everybody in Monticello to enjoy their day today. It's going to be a high of 44. For most of the rest of us, it's already freezing, and it's only dropping from here. Time for a weather update. I'm Blizzard Bo. Good morning.
Blizzard.
A winter storm warning and an extreme cold warning are active for parts of our listening area, including here where we originate the show on the hill in northwest Arkansas. Anywhere from 6 to 4 feet of snow has been projected.
6 to 4 feet.
6 inches to 4 feet.
We might need to dial that in a little bit. Dial in the model.
Northwest Arkansas is actually expecting 8 inches to a foot of snow. Here now, Cyclone Chuck with instant analysis on what you can do to remain safe in the storm.
Well, a heavy coat. That's always one thing to go for. Turn your heat up a little bit at the house, and don't go anywhere.
Bring your pets inside.
Chuck, Cyclone Chuck, one follow-up question. What about freezing pipes? What do you do?
Well, you turn the water on to a slow trickle, just a trickle, and that way your pipes won't freeze.
Brought to you by NASCAR's favorite driver.
That's right.
Dick Trickle with a reminder to everyone.
Today's word is trickle.
Trickle pipes today. Keep the trip going. Oh, wow. Well, we're already on a snow. What do you do on a snow day? Coming up next, it's almost 7 o'clock on the Chuck and Bo Show.
You know the sound, you know the place, and you know the time of year that means live racing at Oaklawn is coming. If your Oaklawn is playing favorites, letting it ride on long shots, or just soaking up the vibes of race day, it's time to make your plans and discover your Oaklawn. Live racing starts Friday, December 6th. Reserve seats, rooms in our hotel, or a spot in your favorite Oaklawn restaurant at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original Sports Rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye was the first practice in the state to perform LASIK, and they have the most experience. They also have the new vision correction options for all ages, including cataract and clear lens replacement to see your best from all distances. For your best vision, McDonald Eye is the place to go. When is the last time you thought, oh, the SEC's making an announcement today, and it's going to be good for the Hogs?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
We all make plans for the future, but car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howe in Van Buren. Hey, Ty Richardson for American Patriot Promotions. They have their Springdale Gun Show coming up March 8th and 9th in the Parsons Stadium Event Center. Come see them Saturday, March 8th from 9 to 5 and Sunday, March the 9th from 9 to 3:30. Tickets are just $10 per person. $8 for veterans, military, police, and first responders. Plus, children 16 and under get in free. Check them out online at AmericanPatriotPromotions.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, big winter storm moving on through today into Wednesday. We could see anywhere from 4 to 6 inches of snow, light glazing of ice north, and about 1 to 2 inches of snow and sleet, about 1/10 of an inch of ice south. We will see the snow increasing in intensity today, our high this afternoon into the upper 20s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike
Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
You sound like a participation trophy, Dad.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about. A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals are just people. They've got their lives and families same as you and me. But what happens when big hospitals and insurance companies ask too much of them and make them work too many hours without enough help? You can only stretch something so far before it breaks and people get hurt or even die. That's where I come in. If the healthcare system in our area has hurt you or someone you love, call me. Together, let's make them do healthcare better. I'm Phil Votaw, and you've never met a lawyer like me.
We all make plans for the future, but car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howe in Van Buren.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard, until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
I really think that there's so much negativity on social media and other people doing podcast or shows that have brainwashed people into thinking that the University of Arkansas Athletic Department is a fraud and it's fake and they're out to get you and that there's never going to be anything good here. And then you continue to just live in this horrible hell of being a Razorback fan.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this much.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still happy.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Change our names up today, guys. We're changing our names up. I went with Blizzard Bo and nominated Chuck for Cyclone Chuck.
Cyclone.
Weather names today.
I like that.
Blizzard Bo and Cyclone Chuck, glad you're here. Feel free to give yourself a weather name today. Radar Edward, I don't know. Doppler Bart, whatever.
Super Doppler.
We're just all in. Yeah, Super Doppler Dave. Remember Super Dave from the David Letterman show? Yeah. We got that going. It's we've got flurries reported in Bentonville.
It's happening.
It's apparently
starting.
Look, this is one of those deals, people. Okay, everybody just listen real quick. Okay?
Look, people.
This is the real deal.
Look.
This is really happening. I know that you've been told your whole life this is coming, and it never does. This is not a drill. This is a legit snow day that's coming our way. So, Chuck, what do we all do? What do you do on a snow day? You're at Auburn. You got out of town. You're going to
hunker down. You hunker down.
You're actually.
That's what you do.
You're going to have FOMO today, aren't you? You're going to have some real FOMO today.
I already do. I had to think for a minute, make sure I knew what you were saying there. But yes, I would describe it a little differently in the man. I wish I was there.
Yeah.
Because I do. I don't like winter. I hate winter. But if it's going to be cold, it might as well snow. And I do like a good snow. But this will be enough for me. This will be enough.
Barometer Bart is a name that Edward came up with. Actually, that's year-round for us.
Yeah.
That is the Chevy Situation Room.
It really
The
is.
Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room is Barometer Bart. Bart is the barometer at all times. And
that's a lot of.
And well, I mean,
this works
sometimes
in the
we can
middle of
trust
summer.
it, and sometimes we can't.
Yeah. I mean, this is a year-round deal. You're right. I like that.
It's a new name. Wow, you got a cutout and a new name, like in the span. You had COVID for
got
a
a
month.
logo.
You got a
Look at the
cardboard
logo on the
cutout.
screen.
Yeah.
You guys can't see it. I can see it. It's beautiful.
On the Chevy of Fayetteville
on the
Situation
Chevy
Room?
of Fayetteville Situation Room logo. Bart's got a
right
logo,
up there.
a cutout, a new name. He's a star.
Streaming to millions around the world, available to literally a billion people.
At least.
At least. I'm underselling.
What are we up to
Right.
now? 6 billion?
Yeah. Well, I mean, whether it's available to all.
Your household name, Bart.
The Chevy Situation
I
Room.
don't know about that,
Here's
Chuck.
Barometer Bart. What do you want to talk about over there in the Situation Room? What do you have this morning?
How about? Can I go on a brief rant about the SEC Weekly Awards?
Thought maybe this would happen.
Yeah.
Thought maybe this would happen.
What is there another co-player of the week?
There is.
Yeah, Bart
there
went
is.
on Twitter.
Yeah, I did.
The Twitter.
The Twitter machine. And there were co-SEC players of the week for softball. And I found that odd because
Are you about to talk down to us?
No, I'm gonna
just
talk.
checking.
I'm gonna talk down to the SEC office though.
Oh, okay.
Because and I'll have to pull the stats up for the co-player of the week, but Arkansas's Bree Ellis hit 667
We are on the edge of our seats.
667 with 3 doubles,
Come on
4
over here.
home runs, 15 runs batted in, 7 runs scored.
This is over what, 3 games?
A 5-game
games.
tournament setting.
So
Now
hit nearly 700, 8 doubles.
8 hits,
8
3
hits.
3 doubles, 4 home runs, 15 runs batted in,
Okay.
7.
Come on over here by the fireplace, kids. This is getting good. Keep going.
Gather around the radio.
Yeah, come on.
I don't know that I want to anymore.
Rub your hands right here by the fire. It'll get you going.
So that was
so
somebody matched that, is what you're
Well,
saying?
here's the thing. The Ella Parker was the of Oklahoma was the co-player of the week with Bree Ellis, and they played 4 games this weekend, not 5, but she had 2 homers and 6 runs batted in, and somehow the SEC office was like, you know what? That's the same as 4 homers, 3 doubles, and 15 ribs.
Yeah. You got a point there.
But this has been going on for a long time, and I just want to say, to the Razorback fans who consistently think that the SEC is being disrespectful toward Arkansas or has some sort of agenda against the Razorbacks, I hear you. I feel you, and I want you to know that I'm listening to you.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, the SEC league office, in your opinion, Barometer Bart's opinion,
Here we go.
This
is going to end up on a blog somewhere.
They thought it's softball. It's softball. We'll just sneak this by. And Bart said, not on my watch.
No.
Hey, they do it all the time in football and basketball.
Not
like it's
on my
always
watch.
an Arkansas player who has an outstanding week or an outstanding weekend or whatever, and they end up with a co-player of the week with somebody whose numbers just don't back it up.
Or Tim Tebow wins the Heisman.
Yeah,
Could be as big or as doesn't matter. They're going to get you.
Like, get it together,
Yeah.
SEC. Let's
Wow.
go.
Ooh, you want to get
Everybody
another
gets a
conference or what?
No,
Wanna go to the Mountain West.
no,
Mountain West is looking for some teams.
I know they are. I just want the SEC to, show some respect. That's all I want. I want the league to show some respect to the players who deserve the
Do you
plaudits
know,
and
this is
accolades.
what I mean about Bart. Sometimes you can trust him and sometimes you can't. Most of the time you
I
can't.
just gave you the stats.
But here's what I mean. You can't trust him, Chuck. In the notes today, he completely omitted the Oklahoma player. Like, he unilaterally decided there was no co-SEC player of the week, and he just said Bree Ellis, SEC player of the week.
I noticed
in the notes. There's no mention of co.
Without peer, I think, was also in the notes. Was that phrase without peer?
Without prejudice.
In the notes? I believe it was.
I believe yes.
Or maybe in the text.
No,
that
it was
you
in
sent
the
out.
tweet. It was in the tweet I
The
posted.
tweet.
Yeah.
That was it. That was
Well,
it. Your
look,
original outrage.
when one player has 5, 6, 2 homers and 6 runs batted in, and the other player has 4 homers and 15 RBI, that's a big
Without
difference.
Peter.
That's a big
Without
difference.
That's Barometer Bart in the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room.
Just
Chevy
stop
of
it,
Fayetteville.
SEC. Just stop it.
The number
Knock it
one,
off.
The number one
Stop.
volume dealer.
Knock it off.
In Northwest Arkansas is Chevy of Fayetteville. Is now a good time to mention that Vanna White's 68 today? Happy birthday to Vanna White. Here for more analysis on that is Cyclone Chuck.
It's hard to believe Vanna White's 68 years old. It's hard to
I
imagine.
feel like she's looked the same for 40 years.
She has. She has.
Like, she doesn't look any different, really.
She's been a constant.
Staple. A staple.
I mean, she's been a constant.
A
She's
staple
one
of
the
our televisions.
staples of our lives, and a constant, and just a good friend.
A good friend.
Just a good television friend.
We need a good TV friend. Who are some other good TV friends? Because today you're going to be stuck inside.
Well,
you can go
Pat
back.
Sajak
watch.
was a good
He's a
TV
great
friend.
TV.
Alec
Now he's
Trebek
out.
was.
Price is Right.
Trebek, yeah.
Bob Barker was an all-timer.
Yeah, he was good.
David Letterman feels like
yeah.
a good TV friend
Yeah,
to me.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Johnny Carson back in the day.
Oprah was once a TV friend.
Yeah. And who's kind of taken the mantle lately of good
Maury Povich.
TV friends? Okay.
I'm not sure there are
I
good
don't
TV
think that's
friends
not
out there, right? Friendship doesn't move the needle on television right now.
That's
from
not
I
what does
gather.
it.
Yeah.
LeBron James.
Well,
good
maybe
TV
one day.
friend.
Yeah, the Inside the NBA
LeBron.
crew.
Yeah,
They're fun.
Charles
Ernie
Barkley.
Johnson.
Charles Barkley.
Charles
All
Barkley.
right.
Well, I'm looking for
Charles
somebody
Barkley.
younger. Has anybody younger been able to tap in to being a television friend, or is that just AI now? Is that your AI friend?
Does Ryan Seacrest fit that?
No.
He immediately
Not a friend.
said
Of,
no.
not a friend of Chuck.
Well, no, I'm just saying he does not cross generational
He's
lines.
50.
I'm not knocking
Yeah.
him.
No, that's
He's
fair.
good.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying he does not cross all lines the way some of
Well,
the
he's
others
hosted
do.
Wheel of Fortune now. So.
Well, I understand
They're
all
trying.
that, but that doesn't make him Pat Sajak.
That's
That's
right.
right.
That's
just,
right.
just because he's on the show.
Don't want
Hey,
to
I
be the
know
guy
this.
who replaces the guy.
That's right. Hey, I noticed somebody cruising down the road in a Chevy Silverado truck a couple of days ago, and of course I thought about Bart and how good he would look behind the wheel of one of those.
But we
babies.
gave it to Edward.
That's right.
The official
Edward
Chuck
got
of
extend.
the
Yeah, well,
Chuck
Bart.
and Bo show, and COVID got somebody again.
That's right. That's right. Bart missed out that day because of COVID. Hey, there are a lot of great automobiles at Chevy of Fayetteville. They're the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas. You're going to get a great deal, but what separates them, what's kept them in business for over 25 years, and what's made them the #1 volume dealer is what happens after the sale, the relationship you build. When it comes time to have your car serviced or your truck serviced or have some work done on your SUV, they've got a great service department, an award-winning service department. Same with their collision department, if you happen to find yourself in that situation. So whatever your automobile needs, they will have you covered at Chevy of Fayetteville. Exit 67A, and they're inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
Looking for maybe a foot of snow, in all seriousness, in
lot of
northwest
snow.
Arkansas. A lot of snow today. It's freezing now in the northwest part of our state, and it's only getting colder throughout the day. If you're in the River Valley, you're going to have less snow, but a little sleet and still freezing temperatures. And, of course, keep in mind that today is trickle day. It's going to get down to 4 and in a negative wind chill. And then tomorrow it's going to be as low as -8. So you want to keep those pipes trickling.
Got to keep that hot water to a trickle.
Just a trickle, just a drip. 7:13, we're here for you on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. Pipes are freezing. Time to go to break.
I don't like getting up early in the mornings. I mean, even to go duck hunting, but I do get up every morning now to listen to you guys.
That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I'm Dr. Scotty Bolding, a native Arkansan oral and maxillofacial surgeon. One of my goals is to make Arkansans healthier.
If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better.
Hey, give us a call, 479-755-3000, or log on to our website, precedent.com, Precedent. We'd love to help.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Paschal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit GoPaschal.com today to schedule your service. Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweatnum Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to SweatnumCosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge.
Yeah, does Chuck sleep that much? Because it just sometimes,
He's old, so when you get old, you don't really sleep as much.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard, until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gastons, a first-class time, every time.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
We all plan to be on time, but fender benders, damaged windshields, and slick roads quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, Our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
So Arkansas puts me through a lot of pain.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck's in Auburn. I'm making plans to figure out how I'm going to survive this day. Big Cedar sounds like an option, but I can't get there. I've had this fireplace issue, by the way, that on a day like this, Chuck, is going to be maddening. Somehow, my fake fireplace, the logs got rearranged, and every time I start the fireplace, it sets off the fire alarm about 5 minutes later. And then the security company calls, and they threaten to arrest me if I don't give them, like, the right password. And I'm like, I promise, it's my house, and got to go through that, along with the piercing sound of the
Is this
the
a
fire
gas
alarm.
fireplace?
Yeah, it is. And apparently, now, I had an alarm system installed after last year about this time. I mean, I had the house for a little over a year. And so I don't know if it's the alarm system or the logs aren't in there correctly, the fake fireplace logs. But I've never really looked forward to a gas fake fireplace quite like I am right now. On a day in which, I want to put my wool socks on, my reading glasses, a robe, some pajama bottoms, put my feet up, get a piping hot cup of whatever, and just feel like I'm in the New York Times
I think
for a
that's
moment.
That's what I would do if I were you. As soon as the show is over, beat the weather, race home, and do all the things you just described. Just spend the day, watching the weather.
And think, and just think.
Reflect.
Reflect
the quiet
yeah.
of the snow.
Yep.
When it snows, it gets quiet outside.
Yeah.
Walk out in the
Really
snow
does.
and just have a reflective moment.
It really, but by the way, it was very quiet in Scottsdale. You go for a walk, you're at one of those resorts, you're kind of up in the hills.
Yeah.
You go for a walk, you don't hear anything. It's kind of creepy. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a mountain lion attacks you. That didn't happen. I mean, it's just, it could happen.
Well, but it could.
Could
I mean, theoretically, it certainly could.
But you would think you might hear it coming.
I was worried about you guys because of that. Because I've heard about things like that happening.
Yeah, I'm sure you
But no, today's a day where you just, you just enjoy it. We can't. If you hate snow, you can't do anything about it.
Yeah,
if you
you're
like
not-
snow, it's as good as it gets.
You're
So
not going to beat it, that's for sure.
Just figure something out on that fireplace, man.
I'm going to have to see what I'm quite handy.
I'm going to guess, based on the people in the room right now, Edward's your best bet.
Whoa,
as far
whoa,
as maybe
whoa.
getting that fixed.
Wow.
I agree with that, Chuck.
He just took a shot at Bart just for
No, I was not taking. I was actually taking a shot at all of us.
Yeah.
I'm saying that Edward.
I'm very handy.
Bart's offended.
That's what I mean.
I'm extremely offended.
Are you really, Edward?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
so
is
Bart
Bart.
doesn't give you a chance to take care of things.
Well,
around here,
Bart's
or
more
you
of
would.
the technology fixer. I can get a curtain rod hung up.
You can. I did see that the sound barrier over
I'm
there
sure
is
Bart
falling
could
out
too.
from
I
behind the
can
curtain.
also Yeah, I think the window got too cold.
Yeah. Is that what happened?
I think that happened this morning.
You know, we hire these wonderful people, Chuck, and you just never know what they're capable of until you get out of the way.
Well, Bart is a wonderful planner, and Edward's a good executor. So
Bart's
works out well.
We got quite the team here. It is 7:22. The temperatures are
downhill
plunging,
quickly.
and the snow
Just like
is
the
coming.
temperatures.
It's going to snow all day, starting at any minute or the next hour, 2 hours, somewhere around there. It's going to snow all day in the northern part of the state. Certainly the northwest Arkansas area is expecting up to a foot of snow today in one day.
Snow.
Flash snowing. It's also known as a blizzard.
Potential for a blizzard warning today, yeah.
You know
What
what's
about those snow drifts? I mean,
Ooh. I could get lost in one of those pretty easily.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, I got to be
Really.
careful.
You don't want to hang out by the fence.
No. Hey, so last night, without the fireplace, I was watching The Razor's Edge, episode 2.
I watched
Calipari,
that.
The Razor's Edge. But I stumbled into Cal's 30 for 30 prior to that show coming on. And they were airing it on ESPN, a rerun, making dinner, watching it. And then I paused it and watched the rest of it after dinner. I mean, seeing it with him being the Arkansas coach just took on a little bit different meaning. But here's what else was a reminder that Cal's played in the national championship game or coached in the national championship game 3 times. Did you remember that? 3 times he has played for the national championship. And were it not for Mario Chalmers hitting a 3 at the buzzer to send the game for Kansas to send the game against Memphis to overtime, Cal would have had his first national championship at Memphis. Now, I want to say that again. He would have had his first national championship at where?
Not
Memphis.
Kentucky.
Memphis, not Kentucky, not Kansas, not some blue blood, Memphis. He went to his first Final Four where?
University of
The
Massachusetts.
University of Massachusetts. And in this documentary, Cal's talking about like going to Kentucky was like he had made it. Like when John Calipari went to Kentucky, I wasn't thinking like, oh, the guy's finally made it. I thought, wow, this is going to be really interesting. You got like a celebrity and a big time recruiter and a guy who's killing it in college basketball at Kentucky. This is probably going to go really well. And eventually they won the national championship. But for a long time, Cal didn't have a job that was at a blue blood program. I mean, he basically built it on his own in terms of just doing it at a school that wasn't as well known for basketball.
And neither
success.
place has been the same since he left.
No.
Memphis had a tradition. Now, I mean, Memphis had played for the national championship before. When Gene Bartow was there back in the day, Memphis had a good program, but they had really gone dormant almost. And Dana Kirk was there for a while, and they had success, but, I mean, they got in trouble. And, they had real issues over there in that program, and so they'd been down for a while. But that is a great basketball city, best basketball city in the South. And he came in there and he took a basketball school and really turned them into something special. What I think's interesting about Cal now is that this is the first place he's worked that fancies itself football first. UMass, basketball school. Memphis, basketball school. Kentucky, basketball school. Now, they've made a commitment to football, and I'm not knocking what they've done in football. But they, your typical Kentucky fan thinks about basketball before everything else. And Arkansas, a little bit more of a football situation. So I think what you've seen over the years is a coach adapt, and there's never been a stage too big. I've said this before. The only 2 people in my lifetime that have mastered the Kentucky job are Calipari and Pitino. Just mastered it, and all that comes with it. And, I remember when Eddie Sutton, when it fell apart at Kentucky, he was done in the public's eyes. He had issues, and, he became kind of an outcast. He goes to Oklahoma State, and it was almost viewed as kind of a sympathy hire. He's an alum, needs to get back in the game. We'll hire him. And then what we found out was that he may have aged, but he was still the same coach he was before. And he took Oklahoma State to the Final Four. And I think Cal's a competitor in terms of those things like multiple schools going to Final Fours. I think he'd like to take a 4th school to the Final Four. I think that's one of those things that cements your legacy. These guys don't talk about it, but just as would be with the case with anyone, they think about that stuff. I think he'd like to get to 1,000 wins, and I think he'd like to take 4 teams to a Final Four, and I think that's what he's planning on doing here.
And I was going to ask, as a fan, if you watch the 30 for 30, and you watch the second episode of Calipari, The Razor's Edge on Vice, or it's on Hulu, you can get it on demand on their website, the Vice website, and you see him go back to Kentucky, and they really spent a lot of this episode diving back into his past and what he had done at Kentucky, and then how it hasn't gone as well, from 2015 on. The last Final Four he went to at Kentucky was 2015. But by the way, if I'm not mistaken, Kansas won the national title, 3 years ago? Bill Self. The last time they had been in the Final Four was how many years ago? 18. That's Kansas.
2018, not 18 years ago.
How many years ago was that? 7, 8?
7.
7
They don't go every year is the point.
Yeah, I mean, I think he would have been back at Kentucky again, but it also became an environment where he was sort of fighting against everybody there, it felt like. Just looking from the outside in.
Well, he got crossways evidently with the athletic director, and I don't know all the ins and outs about that, but it was just time. 15 years is a long time. But one thing that I've thought all season long, he was granted a lot more forgiveness and given a lot more latitude his first season at Kentucky than he's been given at Arkansas. Everyone at Kentucky, Billy Gillispie, I mean, the thing had fallen off, and I'm not saying that they weren't expecting results in a hurry, because they do, but he's been under fire from the minute he took this job, and he was not under fire from the minute he took the job at Kentucky. Now, the fire came later, and it was significant, but he was granted a lot of latitude by the Kentucky fans and by the national media because of the job that Gillespie had done or had not done. He's not been granted any of that here.
Yeah. I'm thinking of it from this standpoint. What are you expecting to get from Cal? So fresh off sort of the reliving of his career and seeing how it went at UMass, Memphis, Kentucky through 2015. But then from 2015 on, not really getting to the Elite Eight or Final Four and losing in the first or second round of the tournament. Still some great seasons, but had some big upsets, some big losses in the tournament. And that has led to a narrative that, you're getting a guy that's no longer the guy that won all those games and went and played in the national championship. My question to an Arkansas fan today would be, what do you think you're getting over the next 3 to 5 years? Because I don't watch these shows with all this great access and say to myself, man, that guy doesn't have it anymore. I mean, in that show last night, they're showing X's and O's and strategy that makes complete sense. And it doesn't fit the narrative of a guy who can't coach anymore. What do you think you're getting? You can text 877-377-6963. You can give us a call as well. We're going to get Dan Scoff in here.
Sweet.
At some point. I think he just got up and immediately texted, because that's what a weather guy does, immediately responds. And we'll find out, because he was up most of the night, dealing with this. But what's coming? We're going to get it from our meteorologist coming up. By the way, if your HVAC system is struggling and you don't want to spend the money right now, Paschal has a deal for you where you can be warm now and pay later. Tax season's here. That means the season of savings with Paschal can help you out. You get your home warm, comfortable now, pay later when your tax return comes in. It's a smart way to stay comfortable without the upfront hit to your wallet. Paschal's about doing all kinds of things like that. Really want to help you make sure you're comfortable and warm in this cold and snowy season. GoPaschal.com. You can check them out online. They've also got the price button that you can check there. You're going to get friendly, professional people and guaranteed work when you deal with Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Professional people and professional service. All right, getting colder. It's already freezing in most of the state, and the snow is coming. 7:32 on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. Touching the hearts of Arkansans, the passive-aggressive Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Being a Razorback fan isn't just about the game. It's about the community, the tradition, and the moments that matter. At Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks, they understand the importance of those moments. That's why they offer a selection of fine jewelry that goes beyond the ordinary, just like our Hogs. Visit Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Rogers, where you'll find that perfect piece to celebrate your Razorback spirit and the special moments in your life.
Our New Year's sale is on at Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Get total New Year's savings up to $13,000 on select in-stock new 2024 Silverados. That's up to $13,000 in total savings on a new Silverado. Limited time only during our New Year's sale at Chevrolet of Fayetteville in the Fayetteville Auto Park. Chevrolet, together let's drive. ChevroletofFayetteville.com. Savings include dealer discounts and all incentives on select models. Must qualify. See dealer for details. Expires 3/3/25.
So I spent yesterday, you mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insights and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because our Kansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. Does your yard need to be serviced in the fall and winter months? Of course. A Cut Above is with you every step of the way. Whether it's commercial or residential, a Cut Above can handle all your needs. Tree service, stump grinding, brush hog, full landscaping. Plus, a Cut Above can take care of all your leaf removal. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. That's a Cut Above, 719-5605.
We all plan to be on time, but fender benders, damaged windshields, and slick roads quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Picture it. It's a day like any other. You're stuck in traffic on Rogers Avenue during rush hour. You're just ready to get home and relax with your family. And then, just like that, your life can change in an instant. And you're going to need a lawyer to make it right. I'm Phil Votaw with Phil Votaw & Associates. If this happens to you, call me, 479-434-6200, or online at votawlaw.com. I'm Phil Votaw, and you've never met a lawyer like me.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. You're listening to The Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You're losing the gist of what I'm saying.
I'm not.
You're
I
losing.
am not, but I had a moment to pounce on a great moment, and I did. I agree with you, and I love you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Dan Scoff's coming up next segment, Chuck.
That's big.
Yeah, it is big. We try to do it big here on big days.
Well,
Today's
you know,
big
it's a
day.
weather day, and so you need to go to weather authorities on a day like today.
And that's what we're going to do. We gotten some text in on the Cal conversation, reliving Cal's career, both through the 30 for 30. That was, by the way, I mean, Arkansas has a basketball coach that's had a 30 for 30 done on him. Like that, he's a big deal. Like that doesn't happen. I don't know how many. I don't know that there's. Trying to think, unless you're talking about just some cataclysmic like disaster, like Dave Bliss at Baylor. Like I'm saying, there's not a college. Is there another college coach with a 30 for 30?
Not a lot of 30 for 30s. I mean, like they did the 40 minutes of hell on Coach Richardson, but that wasn't really like one of their 30. It's part of the 30 for 30 series, but not a 30 for 30 itself. If that makes sense.
And not for a current coach. Not like a sitting coach. Yeah, and this was in the height of his time at Kentucky. But reliving those days and then watching the new show that's being done on him, produced by Omaha Productions and on Vice TV. Episode 2 was out last night. It took me down the memory lane, reliving the history of Cal's career, and got me to thinking, like, well, what's it going to be like here? Is it true that the kind of the best is over, or is it true that he's still the same coach? And success is not a straight line. I mean, there's hardly anybody in college basketball that's ever just continued to win, like year in and year out. Bill Self's been knocked out of the first and second round of the tournament at Kansas a bunch with like a top 5 team. And eventually, you keep coming around. What's amazing about Bill Self is how he's been able to hang in there through the tough times at Kansas. But they're trying to fire Hubert Davis at Alabama or at North Carolina already, and he's done a remarkable job there. He's having a bad year. What are we going to get with Cal here? So we got some text in like, hey, is it too much to ask to make the NCAA tournament? Well, no, but do you really think that outside of this year, and we'll see what happens with the tournament, that they're ever going to miss the NCAA tournament if they miss this year again? Well, I don't
think they'll miss the tournament. First off, I still think they're going to make it this year. It may be by by a real slender margin, but I think they're going to make it. I would expect him, the years that he's here, to have an NCAA tournament team. I don't think he's done. I mean, I can tell you from, the time I've been around the team that, he's still very much a head coach and very much a hands-on coach. And one thing that I think most people know is that sometimes the public persona of these guys and how they are on the practice floor, two very different things. One of the things these inside access type shows provide is, maybe what happens in the halftime locker room. Those are much different guys than the ones you see on camera before or after games. Much different. And that fire's still there. Nobody's talking about Rick Pitino being tired and old and, can he do it again? Nobody's saying that. Cal's the same way. Hall of Fame coaches are the same way. We'll never know because it never happened. But if Nolan Richardson had gone somewhere else to coach, he'd have won there too. And guys that can coach anywhere. And I don't think that, his brain's not deteriorating. The only people that I hear talking about him being archaic are guys in their 30s that, they might play church league basketball, but that's about it. So these guys aren't experts. They don't know. And those are the only ones that I hear talking about him being archaic and behind the times. So I think he'll do fine.
I like Ryan and Prairie Grove's text. Why can't we just be along for the ride? Just drink that in, because that is a great question, and I would even turn it into a statement. Just be along for the ride, because it's going to be a ride. And that's what you got, which is exciting to me. It's interesting to me. And I think it's going to be something that we all get to, quite frankly, enjoy over the next 3 to 5 years. I think it's going to be enjoyable. Doesn't mean you're going to win every game. Doesn't mean you're going to hit all the expectations maybe you have. But I think there's going to be a lot of ups in the next 3 to 5 years.
Wherever John Calipari is, the spotlight's going to be there too. And everybody's going to be talking about it. So it's going to be very good entertainment regardless.
Hey, guys, we always want to feel good. You know, it's not any fun when you're tired and lethargic and just dragging butt. The Sweat No Magic can help you fix that. You may not know what the issue is, but that's what they are the experts for. And they can help you evaluate and get the options on the table that can change your life, quite frankly, day to day. You can feel completely different. I've taken the Sweat No Magic evaluation. Chuck has too. We're better off for it. Log on to sweatnomcosmetic.com and just click on the Sweat No Mag, and it could be a game changer for you. Check it out today. Speaking of experts, Dan Scoff, meteorologist, KNWA and Fox 24, coming up on a snow day.
Like, I think you should look at yourself today in the mirror and say, what's wrong with me?
Okay, I will.
I'm not talking about you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
With Oaklawn Sports, the action never stops and the season is never over. It's now easier than ever to wager on your favorite sports all year long. Go from football to basketball to baseball to golf. Bet on what you want, when you want, with the brand you trust. Oaklawn Sports even offers ways to bet on cricket, rugby, table tennis, and more. If it's a sport, chances are you can wager on it. Plus, it's now simpler to deposit and withdraw money from your account. Bet all year long with Oaklawn Sports, Arkansas's best sports betting app. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
If you suffer from sleep apnea, but you can't stand wearing your CPAP machine, I've got good news. And you need it because not wearing your CPAP can lead to severe health problems.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you don't have good sleep, you're not only affecting your body, it can affect your heart, it can affect your lungs, it can increase weight gain. If you don't get good sleep, you also are not filtering your brain well. So sleep's very, very important.
Dr. Scotty Boulding, who's an Arkansas native and world-renowned surgeon, has proven surgical alternatives that can improve your airway and help you breathe better.
If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Call Dr. Boulding's office today at 479-755-3000 for a consultation and tell them you heard it on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Fayetteville Auto Park has been Northwest Arkansas's premier automotive dealer for a long time. There's a reason for that. It starts with great brands: Acura, Chevrolet, Honda, Toyota. Plus, they've got a huge pre-owned inventory. They've got an on-site collision center. And that really is what makes them your one-stop automotive headquarters. The best brands, the best people, the best service, and the best selection. Whatever your automotive needs, Fayetteville Auto Park.
If you haven't tried a flight by Yuengling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yuengling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yuengling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. And every Wednesday is Wine Down Wednesday. 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale. But when it comes to selection, amazing prices, and unbeatable customer service, Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville is second to none. Wine, beer, and spirits. Stock up for your next party, or just stop by and grab your favorite. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
You know, I want Texas to lose. Yeah, I want them to rot in hell.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, my buddy Simon Wheeler with Wheeler Power Sports. Stop by the studio.
If you have a name brand motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side you would consider selling or trading, call or text or use Bike Buyers at 479-783-5822 or visit us online at wheelerpowersports.com. Buy, sell, or trade Wheeler is the one for 2025. Proud to be Fort Smith's authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and Slingshot.
Simon Wheeler at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Jam Mart. They have several locations in the Arkansas area, but I specifically want to talk to you about Jam Mart number 10. Great deli. My goodness. Great lunch, great dinner. But have you had the breakfast yet? It's the best in town. And they have that convenient drive-through window. So when you're heading north or south on 540, take exit number 6 for Jam Mart number 10. 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith. Jam Mart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the area.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Do you adhere to a budget, Chuck?
Not as well as I should.
Yeah, same.
Some people are like that.
I admire those people.
I'm not one of them.
I need to get on that plane.
I need to get on that plane too.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Well, on a day like this, Chuck, we got to go to the experts.
Well, we do.
And Dan Scoff is certainly that. And Dan, is this an exciting time? KNWA meteorologist. You can see him on Fox 24 as well. And is this an exciting time in your position, or how would you describe it?
That's a good question, Bo. I would say exciting, anxious, but also at the same time frustrating. Winter weather forecasting. I was kind of thinking about how I contribute this to sports, but it's kind of like score predictions when you do these accumulation maps. I mean, people really don't know exactly what the score is going to be. There's so many factors that go into a snow accumulation map, and honestly, that's kind of what it is. You're making a score prediction. But what's wild about this storm is that every single model, there's not a single one. It's like all the analysts are saying this team's going to win. That's exactly what it's looking like. So we were getting a lot of snow, and this is a big storm. So it's a little bit of anxiety. There's a little bit of pressure, too, on if the forecast verifies. But at the same time, it's kind of fun to just sit back and watch this do its thing.
All right, Dan, let me ask you. Let's say the snow comes, and you've thought, I'm not saying this particular time, but say any time, you've predicted 4 inches. And it snowed like 7 or 8, or vice versa. Are you bothered by the fact you were off 3 or 4 inches on the accumulation, or do you just kind of enjoy the weather, so to speak? What's the competitive measure, I guess, there for a weatherman?
Let me tell you something. It bothers me more than anybody else that comments on social media.
I figured that probably. I figured that something like that would be the answer.
I beat the heck up out of myself. In fact, I know exactly what storm you're talking about, January 9th through the 10th, that came through earlier this year.
Oh, I wasn't talking about anyone.
Yeah, I don't know. But we were a little lower on the snow totals, and we kind of, the computer models, it's an animal, honestly. It goes back and forth. It's a double-edged sword because sometimes they're great. Sometimes they get the prediction, really, really good. Other times they don't. And so as a meteorologist, I know sometimes those models aren't correct, and I fight them. And sometimes I fight them too much. And I was telling my team the same thing. It's like, well, this happened before. And it's always those surprises that kind of trick you into and lull you into thinking, wow, this isn't right. And then it ends up being right. So that January 9th through the 10th storm, it brought more snow than what I was expecting, but there were some factors that kind of came into play, and I was thinking of all the negative things that could happen to lessen the snow totals. So that answers your question. I beat the heck up out of myself.
Hey,
more than anybody.
I love your passion for weather, man. I mean, I really do. And I know you're not the only one, but I really appreciate that.
So, Dan, what are we expecting today, the rest of the week? What's the impact on, like, what to be ready for?
You know, this is a big storm. This is the biggest snow that we are going to see. At least that's what's expected. That's what's supposed to take place since February 9th of 2011. I don't know if you remember that storm, but that storm was also another surprise where we called it the Highway 412 super snowstorm because we had, in some places, 2 feet of snow, and it happened overnight. And the forecast was a little lower on the totals there. I was going double the amounts of what some of the other accumulations were, and I was thinking, boy, I hope we get this, which was 3 to 6 inches, and we ended up getting 2 feet. And it was a little funny, too, because on the newscast that night, I was just like, well, you know what? The chance of, and the models were starting to show a foot, and I was like, yeah, the chance of us seeing a foot is 1 in a million. And God's like, oh, okay, you think 1 in a million? I'll give you 1 in 2 million. So that was the February 9th snowstorm. So to put it into perspective, this is major impact. We've got heavy snow. It's going to be a fluffy snow. It's going to be a dry snow. So that means the packing in terms of snowmen and, you know, making snowballs, pretty terrible, honestly, on that. You'll pick it up. It'll be like grains. But we're expecting in northwest Arkansas, I'm going to say, you know, I'm looking at the latest. You got to go a little lower just because of all the factors. I'm thinking around 8 to 12 inches plus, which is a pretty substantial snowstorm.
That's big
All right.
snow.
Well,
Benton County is going to get a lot of snow because it's already starting to snow in Pea Ridge. I'm looking at it on our WeatherBug cameras, and it's going to be filling in. So, yeah, we're talking, and this is wide impacts everywhere, 8 to 12 inches plus.
Got 20 seconds, Dan.
All right, Fayetteville, probably between 6 to 8, and then the River Valley will get about a little less than 4, but also ice accumulation. And then we got tremendous cold where wind chills will be minus double digits. So some cold weather, major impacts. Everybody be safe, and we'll keep you updated.
At Weather Dan on Twitter. Dan Scoff, thanks so much for the update.
Ready or not, it is tax season. But luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block. If you're having issues with your gutters or drainage around the house, you need to call Hog Trough Gutters. They're locally owned and operated with over 30 years of experience. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drains. Plus, they're fully licensed and insured, and every job comes with a 20-year guarantee. Hog Trough Gutters services all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Log on to their website, hoggutters.com, to find out more. That's hog, Gutters.com.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978. There's nothing we enjoy saying more than I told you so.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. We're live at First Financial Mortgage with my friend Ethan Adamson. Ethan was my mortgage lender here, and Ethan, between you and Emily, over 2 decades.
Yeah, we've got quite a bit of experience here to help you get closed on a home really quick. We offer custom financing available through VA, FHA, RD, and conventional loans. First Financial Mortgage has a great history of lending in the area. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5, ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, big winter storm moving on through today into Wednesday. We could see anywhere from 4 to 6 inches of snow, light glazing of ice north, and about 1 to 2 inches of snow and sleet, about 1/10 of an inch of ice south. We will see the snow increasing in intensity today, our high this afternoon into the upper 20s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jasco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. Cecil, this is the one-stop shop.
Yes, Jasco Graphics Design, the one-stop shop, 2415 Midland, for your custom or buck order.
Why ESPN 95.3?
I really enjoy listening in, and it keeps my day going while I'm at work. Jasco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jasco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Joe's Grill and Cantina is already chipping away at 2025 with Joe's Chips and Salsa. Made with Tex-Mex house-made salsa. Made daily with fresh veggies, even carrots. Try their sizzling fajitas and crunchy tacos. Every Tuesday, it's Taco Tuesday. Joe's has great enchiladas with homemade sauce. It's the best around. Plus a full bar and TVs all around the restaurant. The best Tex-Mex and even better service at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Touchdown, Arkansas! How did he get that wide open?
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3, Wildcat!
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
At Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC, we dial 782-8940.
This is Joe Calderera with Taliano's Restaurant. We call 782-8940.
Keep warm this winter with a York high-efficiency furnace, or for more information on endless hot water and a high-efficiency tankless water heater, give Blaylock Heating, Air, and Plumbing Services a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Courtside with Fort Smith Public Schools. Coaches take you inside on what's going on in Fort Smith sports.
I think the boys program, we definitely thrive off the energy and the emotion. I think as a coach, it's a big thing to kind of just help those guys rein that in, myself included. You know, there's times we have to take a step back, take a breath during a timeout, and just sit there and breathe.
New episode every week on the Hit That Line podcast network and on hitthatline.com. You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
What does a wingman do? Like, what is a good wingman?
Spell it out for us, Bart.
I like to think I'm a good wingman, though.
Well, someone told me you were in the Wingman Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You make conversation knowing you are not going to be the one to score. You're like an assist man. You're like a point guard.
You're hyping up.
You're like a point guard. You don't get the basket. You don't get the basket.
You're hyping up. You're hyping up your friends. You're introducing them to people. Yeah.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still happy.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Well, that's the perfect intro.
Well, it is.
To our next segment. I mean, who's a better wingman than Matt Zimmerman? He's
Chuck's king.
Radio guy, radio partner. It's hard to describe Matt. He's an ambassador to our state. He's a longtime Razorback basketball assistant.
Former Sportscaster of the Year.
Sportscaster of the Year. Superstitions. A storyteller.
Believer in the broadcaster's jinx.
All of that. And he's joining us on the hotline, but we're confused, Chuck, because you mentioned, and Edward was just questioning this, you both are at Auburn. You're both in the same hotel. You're there a day early, and you've got a day to kill because you got to get out of the weather to get down there so you could make the game. And as I heard earlier, Z is 4 rooms down from you. But yet we've got to get him on the phone because what, you won't allow him into your room?
Well, he's still in bed, I'm sure. He's probably laying in bed doing this segment right now, if I'm guessing. He just like rolled over and grabbed the phone when we called him. I think he and I are the only ones in the travel party that are even awake right now.
That's probably
if you want to know the truth.
Truth. Yeah, probably true. Z, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Oh, he just sat up.
Yeah, he just sat up. You can hear him actually sit up right there.
I stayed up last night. I was watching games, and it was a nice night. There's nothing like being on the road an extra day early. We've had it happen a few times over the years, and last night was, a nice night. We got here, 6:30, and you're not thinking about that game the next day because there isn't a game the next day. It's not till Wednesday. So, man, it was a nice evening, and it's going to be about 60, almost 60 degrees in Auburn today, and it is sunshine already out. I see kids walking to class. They do go to class down here. Some of them do, and so they're not even wearing big coats down here. They're just heading to class.
Gosh.
Yeah, pretty good deal.
We are hunkering down here. Do you need me to run over to your house and get your trickle going?
Did you leave your water running, Z? Did you leave your water running?
I left three faucets running.
I did too.
Yeah, they say you can do one or whatever, but I kept 3 of them running just to be sure and just dripping. And hopefully it'll all be good because I know it's going to get cold.
Yeah, it's going to get cold, snowy. We're expecting a foot of snow. Dan Scoff just told us it's the biggest weather event, snow-wise, that we've had since 2011. That's what we're expecting.
That was the 2-footer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one. Oh yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, there's been a lot of hype about it. Of course, we had a decent amount of snow that one time.
You don't have
in
any
January. Yeah. So it'll be good.
What are you doing today?
Yet, though, huh?
Are you going to practice today? What are you going to do today? Is you going to go to the mall? Are you going to go to practice? What are you going to do?
Yeah, I got this with y'all that Chuck told me about last night. I thought he was kidding.
Well, the thing was, if any of the coaches, we're going to be up early enough today, we were going to have them on. But then he's like, I've got a backup plan.
Oh yeah, I was a backup.
I didn't tell him that part. I didn't share that part with him, but I'm glad you did.
Yeah, well, hey.
Oh yeah, it's all good.
We're all a backup plan in one form or another.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. So that's all good. But that, and then we got the 1990 team coming in this weekend, and so we got a meeting on that this morning at 9. We'll do that on the computer with folks back home, just make sure we're organized and squared away for that team coming back.
What are you not involved with?
Well, there's plenty of stuff I'm not involved with, but some things I am, and so I'm looking forward to that because I was a part of that team, and so I'm looking forward to seeing those guys. Some of them won't be there. Some of them have already passed. We've already had 3 on that team pass away, and so it'll be, but that'll be good. And then going to go to practice today, and we're fortunate enough we're going to get into Auburn Arena, I think, even before Auburn practices today. And they were gracious enough because they don't have to let us in, come in that early. They could have made us practice after them. So we're getting in there 12 to 2. That'll be a good time to practice. I'm sure I'll eat pretty good today and make some phone calls and just enjoy the day from Auburn.
Phone calls.
Yeah. I may call.
Hey, go ahead.
Yeah, the foundation said, hey, while you're down there, you ought to just maybe call a bunch of lapsed donors on the phone, And I said, sure. I think while I'm in Auburn, not having a game, I think I'll try to make 150 calls to lapsed donors while I'm down here. How about that? Well, that's probably not going to happen. Yeah, I definitely am lying. If you're a lapsed donor, you won't be getting a call from me today. Enjoy the snow. All good. It's all
I'll be
good.
at Mama Goldberg's having a sandwich.
Hey, before we talk about this game, you mentioned something there that I want to go back to. For those who are coming to the Missouri game Saturday night, there's a reunion of the 1990 Final Four team. And a lot of people are coming back. A lot of players are coming back. I know you've been on the phone kind of organizing this, at least to a certain degree. Give us the rundown on the guys that are coming back, the players that are part of the team, and what's planned.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that. And Kevin Trainer has done a lot. Coach Wayne Stellick, that team actually got together right as Rose Richardson was passing away in October, and that was the first time they'd all came back together since 1990. That wasn't through the university. That was just through Coach Stellick, Coach Richardson, getting everybody to his house. And a lot of them came in. And as I mentioned, these men are all 53 to 56 years old, and Larry Marks was the first one to pass. He died playing pickup basketball at the Jones Center in Springdale. And he was like 31 or 32. And then, of course, Ron Hury and Lindsey Howell both have died in the last 3 or 4 years. And so we've lost 3 of the – Coach Richardson, back then, he was playing about 12 guys. And so 3 of those 12 have passed. Oliver Miller is really sick, and he's in Arizona. And so that's been tough. And then, unfortunately, Lee Mayberry, his team – well, not unfortunately – fortunately for him, he's a high school coach at Cassia Hall in Tulsa, and his team's advancing in the state tournament. And check this out. He won't be there Saturday, but he's going to have we've got a big dinner, a little banquet we're having at the Jones Center in Fayetteville, the one on campus, Jerry and Gene Jones Center. But his team's playing Coach Richardson's grandson, Bo. He's playing Bo's son, who's Tulsa Central's head coach. And Cassia Hall and Tulsa Central playing in the state tournament on Saturday. But everybody else will be back. I mean, we got Cannon Whitby hadn't been back in a long time. He's coming. Todd Day, the school's all-time lead scorer, will be there. Arlen Bowers, a great player on that team, 3-year starter. Arlen Bowers will be there. So we've got a really good group of guys coming. But what's so impressive is all of the staff, fortunately, is still alive, and all of those men are coming. And, of course, Coach Richardson, and then Mike Anderson will be there, Scott Edgar, who was the head coach at Murray State and Duquesne and SEMO. Coach Edgar will be there. Ronnie Cottrell, who was the second longest tenured head coach in Division I. He was at Houston Baptist, now Houston Christian. He was their head coach for 34 years. From 1990 to 2024, Coach Cottrell, Coach Stellick. So we're going to have a really good group of people back. Daryl Hawkins from Houston, he's helped kind of coordinate a lot of this with guys as well. He'll be back, so it's going to be good. I wish Lee could be there. I wish Big O, but and Big O is still trying to fight to get there. So maybe something, but we don't know. We're not expecting him to be there, but I know he's wanting to be there really, really bad. He's just kind of going through it right now. So it's going to be a great group, and just for those guys to get together, the foundation's having an event for them on Friday night, like I said, at the Jones Center, and then just the ball game on Saturday. So if you come to the game, I know you want to run to the restroom at halftime. I think we're going to do that at the beginning of the half. It'll just take 4 or 5 minutes, and then head to the concession stand, because halftime everybody kind of clears out. and we would have liked. We thought about doing it during a media timeout, but it was probably going to be a little bit rushed to honor those guys in a 3-minute media timeout. So we'll spend 4 or 5 minutes honoring them to start halftime, and so it'll be nice. And 1990 to them not coming back to till 2024 on their own, and now coming back in 2025 and to get to walk on that court. And these guys do not play in Bud Walton; they play Barnhill Arena, and so it'll be very nice for them.
Yeah, I love that touch point with history, and it's one of the great things to remember about Arkansas basketball and the great history that you've had. Dating back, to Eddie Sutton, Nolan, and, I was talking about watching the Cal show on Vice last night, and also his 30 for 30 was rerunning on ESPN last night, and the history that he had in 15 years at Kentucky. And, and Z, I wonder, when you see Cal coach, and you've coached against him as an assistant coach at Missouri and Arkansas, and maybe even at UAB when you were with Coach Anderson there.
A bunch at UAB.
Yeah, I mean, you've been around him a bunch.
He was in Memphis then.
When you think of the next 3 to 5 years here at Arkansas, and we can talk about this game Wednesday and can they make the tournament in a second, but is your expectation that there's some big days ahead for Arkansas basketball, or is this a totally different time and we don't know what to expect?
Yeah. No, I think there are great expectations just because of the success he's always had everywhere. So, he's been to Final Fours, he's won a national championship at Kentucky, and he's always recruited the best players. And that was what was so hard coaching against him. At all the places that he was at and I was at when we would coach, and he always had the best talent, and we were always so envious of him because he had such great players. And he's still doing that now. I mean, every time that they're dealing with a recruit, maybe I'm just having small talk with Chuck Martin or Chin Coleman or somebody, you're talking about guys they're recruiting. I mean, it's always the best point guard in the class or the best big man in the class or the second best wing player in that class. And, we would get a player like that every once in a while, a Corliss Williamson, a Bobby Portis, a Joe Johnson, but an Anthony Black. But there hadn't been a lot of those over a history of time to where it's every year 3, 4, 5, 6 of the very best players in the country. And like the 2 we got coming next year, 2 at the top. You can argue. I was hearing a guy the other day. He said there are 2 of the top 5. He's a national recruiting guy. He said those are 2 of the top 5 high school players in the country that are coming to Arkansas next year, and they're not done recruiting. And that don't even mention the portal. So I think with all the talent coming in and the staff is good, that Arkansas fans should have very high hopes for the future.
Yeah, I was watching that last night. You forget how many number 1 overall picks he had, like Derrick Rose at Memphis, John Wall, Anthony Davis. Yeah. I mean, that's I think he had 5 picks in the first round in 1 year.
Yeah, it's amazing, and he can do that at Arkansas with our fan base, the passionate fan base, and and there's money at Arkansas, and there's great resources. You got one of the biggest arenas in the country, top 5 biggest arena. It's really the sky's the limit for him, and everything he did at Kentucky, he can do at Arkansas, and maybe he can even do more. We'll see, because he's still motivated. He's very determined, and he's not, he's only 66, so he's still got a lot of time left in him. And hopefully we're getting some of his Nick Saban years, where Nick Saban was dominant, was in his 60s and into his 70s. Yeah. And so hopefully that's what the Razorbacks will get with Coach Cal.
Well, I think it's an interesting point. Let's talk about this season, okay? Where they are today. It seems like if they go 3-3 over their remaining 6 games, they're going to make the NCAA tournament. But what are, break it down from a analysis standpoint. What do they got to do to win some games here down the stretch? How do they have to play? What are you seeing from this team that could get them in or could keep them out in terms of how they play?
Yeah, that's a good question, because you're definitely not just, we just all feel like, hey, they're locked in, they're going to make the tournament, but that's not true. You got to win, and we're very blessed because most years, obviously, you're sitting 4-8. some of the places we've set so far this year, 0-5, now 4-8, you'd be out. I mean, you'd be like making plans for having to go in the conference tournament. But in this era of the SEC and the strength of this conference, you're not. And so basically you're in or you're real close to in. So you just have to take care of it. That really, to me, is you still got to win you got to win those home games for sure. And if you win those, then that means you beat Missouri. And they're good. And that means that you swept Texas. And to me, Texas is just okay. But that still means you swept Texas. And then that means you beat Mississippi State, who's going to make the tournament. And so that's 3 NCAA tournament teams that you beat at home. Then you're in. That gives you 7 wins. I never thought, Bo, that I would tell you 7-11 would get you in. Now, I had to coach in a league where we were 10-8 and didn't get in the NCAA tournament. So it's very nice for these coaches. And I felt this way before the year. This is the best time to ever coach in our league. And everyone's like, well, that's crazy. It's the hardest it's ever, sure, but there's no real dominant pressure on one game. I've coached in games where you went to South Carolina and they were number 240 in the net. You had to beat them. And if you didn't beat them, you'd go from being an 8 or 9 seed to being out of the tournament because you had to win that game. And you don't have that anymore. Now, South Carolina's still bad, but even their net's not terrible because they won some non-conference games. And so you have a great opportunity, and if they could just get one, they need to win at South Carolina, and the Vandy win would be important. Vandy's going to make the tournament, and didn't think we'd be saying that this year either. They've done a good job at Vanderbilt. But if they've been good at home, they don't win hardly anything on the road. But we have to play Vandy on the road. So, you have a really good chance to win some of these down the stretch. Tomorrow's going to be hard. I do like when we're catching Auburn. Auburn will be their punch may be a little different. I mean, they punched so hard on Saturday, and they had a heck of a battle, and that was a huge win for them. I thought Alabama would beat them at Alabama, and Auburn is that good. And so maybe we can catch them. It will be a tough game.
Z, thanks so much. You can go back to sleep now.
Yeah, I got that Kevin Trainer. Kevin Trainer got me on a meeting at 9, so I'm going to have to stay up.
Yeah, they can hear you all up and down the hall. People are complaining.
Hey, can I tell you a quick story, Bo, before y'all go?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're.
I hope it's quick.
Oh yeah,
we'll see how quick.
I told Riley Hall in the summer when Chuck told me he was going to be going back to the radio shows, and I told Riley, I said, Riley Hall does our travel. I said, Riley, you got to get him away from everybody. He's got that big, huge Chuck voice. It's going to be booming. Get him away from everybody. And Riley just laughed. He said, I'll make sure he's right beside you. And so so we go to Fort Worth, and he was beside me, and it was a weekday. And I thought, I'm going to hear him. And nope, didn't hear him. Somehow didn't hear him. Luxury. It was a very nice hotel, and we did just. It was, I guess they built it. Never heard a word from him. And then we go to Miami, and we're like in this 1980s mafia motel's very, very nice, called the Mayfair. Beautiful hotel. It got these cement floors, I guess. And so I was going to try to sleep in that morning. We had a night game. And so I'm sleeping, and all of a sudden this is Chuck Barrett on the Chuck and Bo Show.
No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened.
He was booming. It was booming off those floors. He was in the room beside me, and I heard every word. I tried to put in headphones. I tried to do everything. I finally messaged him. It's like, it's like 6:30 in the morning. It's 5:30 in Arkansas. He's doing his test, and the show starts 7 a.m. Miami, 6 o'clock Arkansas. He's talking. I text him. I said, "Man, you're screaming." And he said, "No, I'm not." And he said, "You can't hear me." He said, "You can't hear me." And I text him some of his quotes from the show.
Oh, you did.
And he said, "Oh man, you can't hear me." I got every word. You're literally like 6 inches from my head.
Yeah.
And he said, "My bad, ain't nothing I can do about
Right.
it."
The truth is that he was listening to the show on the app. Chuck, he got you.
That was so funny. It was like I was like, you're lying. And then he just like texted word for word
Well,
what I just said.
whoever the people are in the three rooms between you guys right now, I feel for them. Z, thanks so much. Enjoy Auburn.
man.
We'll talk soon.
Okay, guys.
8:22. It's the Chuck and Bo Show on a snow day. It's coming, and it's coming all day. You got to get those pipes trickling. Good morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, well, congratulations.
Hey, Chuck, I made some good calls today.
You sure did. You sure did.
Our New Year's sale is on at Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Get total New Year's savings up to $13,000 on select in-stock new 2024 Silverados. That's up to $13,000 in total savings on a new Silverado. Limited time only during our New Year's sale at Chevrolet of Fayetteville in the Fayetteville Auto Park. Chevrolet, together let's drive. ChevroletofFayetteville.com. Savings include dealer discounts and all incentives on select models. Must qualify. See dealer for details. Expires 3/3/25.
When it comes to finding the perfect diamond, there's one name that stands above the rest in Northwest Arkansas. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. As the region's premier experts for diamonds, Blakeman's offers an unparalleled selection of brilliant stones, handpicked for their quality and beauty. They don't just help you find the perfect stone, they educate you on every step of the way. Whether you're planning a proposal, celebrating an anniversary, or simply treating yourself, Blakeman's is where your search ends and your story begins.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye was the first practice in the state to perform LASIK, and they have the most experience. They also have the new vision correction options for all ages, including cataract and clear lens replacement to see your best from all distances. For your best vision, McDonald Eye is the place to go. You want to talk about washed? You're being brainwashed by idiots. You're following idiots.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Joe's Grill and Cantina is already chipping away at 2025 with Joe's Chips and Salsa. Made with Tex-Mex house-made salsa. Made daily with fresh veggies, even carrots. Try their sizzling fajitas and crunchy tacos. Every Tuesday, it's Taco Tuesday. Joe's has great enchiladas with homemade sauce. It's the best around. Plus a full bar and TVs all around the restaurant. The best Tex-Mex and even better service at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical,
It is now about 8 o'clock, and we are hours away from the winter storm reaching Arkansas first in the northwest part of the state, where heavy snowfall is
predicted. On the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
I know we're always on the go, heading to Fayetteville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and you need a place to fill up. But not just for gas. I need snacks, drinks, and a restroom that doesn't make me throw up. That's why my new favorite pit stop is Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue on the way out of town. I can't stop by without getting something from their hot box or a fresh-made burger. That's Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You're telling me it's not about me.
Well, not entirely. Now, don't misunderstand me. It is all about you, but maybe not quite to the degree that we might hope.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck, I'm starting to get emails now on just on what's not going to be available to me today. We got a heads up from the golf course.
Can't play golf today?
This is an email from one of our local golf clubs.
The course.
Yeah. Due to inclement weather, the golf course and golf shop will be closed today. I mean, why? We're only getting a foot of snow. If the expected weather conditions persist, will remain closed for the next few days.
Yeah.
I'm waiting now for the community swimming pool update to come in. That's also going to be closed today.
Well, I think the key in all that was the clubhouse and the pro shop are closed, so you can't go
get
hang
away.
out.
Can't go have a beer.
Those who go to the course to get out
Yeah.
of the house, you're going to have to stay home.
Yeah, it's not. That's a good point.
Try. I mean, you know.
Gator golf's
going to
be
able to
closed.
kick your husbands out, and husbands, you're not going to be able to escape, so you're stuck.
What are some other things that we don't need an email on today? It could be closed.
The garden and nursery.
Yeah.
The botanical garden.
Yeah. Well, that's always open, but it's not an outdoors
Be a
day.
cold walk.
Anybody want to go for a hike at Devil's Den later, maybe around noon?
I'll pass.
Just see if we make it back.
Survivalist training.
That'd
Right.
be a tough track.
Jeez
Go spelunking, get in one of those caves and warm up.
Go
Okay. Okay.
Hey, people do it every day out there. They do.
That doesn't make it any less funny that you said it,
Well,
Chuck.
they do it every day. Hey, today you can try a flight by Yingling. But you're gonna need to get it before you can't get out of the house.
I've got some. I've got
It's the next generation
I'm
of light
stocked up.
beer. You got the
Bart's getting drunk
resealable aluminum
Bart's going to be
bottles.
brewing by noon today.
Oh yeah. Oh. I'm like, what is Bart gonna do? I'm gonna shoot whiskey. I'm gonna fire my rifle, and I'm gonna do yoga.
There's some truth to some
Things to
Gonna
do.
put his snow boots on.
Things to do inside today. You get your taxes in order, and be ready for H&R Block because it is tax season. And luckily, they got 70 years of tax prep expertise to work for you, so you can breathe easy and file with confidence. 100% accuracy and your max refund guarantee at H&R Block. All right, we got to take a quick short segment here. Take a quick break, and we'll come back and we'll give you the weather update as we got it from Dan Scoff a little bit ago. We are still in the calm before the storm. But the
it's
storm
coming.
is, but it's coming.
Is it ever?
On the Cyclone Chuck and Bo Show. Back in a minute, 8:30. Good morning. Can we just say, for all of you who get up early in the morning and you work so hard, man, we're glad you're here. We're just really appreciating all the work you do to make Arkansas better.
You talking to me?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
Discover the Stonebreaker Hotel, where handcrafted elegance meets modern comfort. Relax in beautifully designed rooms, or book your next reservation at the Stonebreaker Lounge and Restaurant, where you can satisfy cravings with fresh, seasonal takes on traditional favorites. Open daily from 5 to 9 p.m. For more information, log on to stonebreakerhotel.com, located on Markham Road in Fayetteville, where you'll find the Stonebreaker Hotel and Restaurant.
Bo, when your show went off a few years ago, it was like I've been lost ever since then. And I just really appreciate your show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Here's the 1-1. Swung on, skied in the left. That ball's hit pretty well. It is gone. Brett Eibner's hit a home run and the ball game's tied. Brett Eibner has hit a home run and the ball game is tied. The Razorbacks down to their final out, and Eibner, for all his troubles this season, has just saved things.
Listen to every Razorback baseball game on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Let's get it. Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage. It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3, Wildcat!
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted Best Garage Door Company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
At Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC, we dial 782-8940.
This is Joe Calderera with Taliano's Restaurant. We call 782-8940.
Keep warm this winter with a York high-efficiency furnace. Or for more information on endless hot water and a high-efficiency tankless water heater, give Blaylock Heating, Air, and Plumbing Services a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Courtside with Fort Smith Public Schools. Coaches take you inside on what's going on in Fort Smith sports.
I think the boys program, we definitely thrive off the energy and the emotion. I think as a coach, it's a big thing to kind of just help those guys rein that in, myself included. You know, there's times we have to take a step back, take a breath during a timeout, and just sit there and breathe.
New episode every week on the Hit That Line podcast network and on hitthatline.com.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I was really dorky. I'm sure it's a shock for you guys to realize
that right?
Oh, I was a total dork.
What a great story.
No, now I'm an older dork.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
While you're contemplating the rest of your life, during this time where you're stuck inside, let me recommend Blakeman's tea. Well, I mean, this is what you talked about it earlier. You know, you just sit there and you watch it snow and you contemplate.
That's
and
right.
It may need to be. It may be that you need to get a gift for someone or treat yourself, as Bart did on Valentine's Day. And Blakeman's newly renovated retail store in Rogers is gorgeous, and they've got an amazing assortment that you won't find anywhere around here. Like you got to go to like a big city, and it's just for any budget, but for any occasion. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Dan Scoff joined Chuck and I earlier. Blizzard Bo and Cyclone Chuck, we stepped aside for Weather Dan, and here's what he said.
This is a big storm. This is the biggest snow that we are going to see. At least that's what's expected. That's what's supposed to take place since February 9th of 2011. I don't know if you remember that storm, but that storm was also another surprise where we called it the Highway 412 super snowstorm because we had, in some places, 2 feet of snow, and it happened overnight.
Chuck can't figure out whether he's happy to have gotten out of town or if he is missing out.
I'm missing out. I wish it was a home game tomorrow night. We didn't have to be down here, and I could, reflect. I love to reflect.
Yeah.
And so I would have enjoyed that.
Instead, you'll be walking around the Auburn campus today thinking about the great Arkansas moments that have occurred there.
It's been one or two.
Yeah.
We're about a block from Toomer's Corner.
Mm-hmm.
I've not walked down there yet. I don't know if there's still any, tissue from
toilet
Saturday
paper.
when they beat Alabama.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna get out and check.
I thought that was an interesting point that Z made about it being such a tough game and a rivalry game last Saturday. And does that help you at all?
It doesn't hurt. Certainly doesn't hurt. When I was reading about, and lots of coaches do this, and I'm not saying he did anything out of the ordinary, but Bruce Pearl left Tuscaloosa, and I guess with his family they were headed to their lake house at Lake Martin, which is kind of a big recreational lake here and here in Alabama. And so I guess he stopped at a Home Depot, and it was kind of a big deal, and everybody's taking pictures. And I'm thinking, man, they're the toast of the town. And now Sunday's always an off day, or oftentimes is an off day. So again, I'm not saying that he did anything out of the ordinary, but it was a big, big event in the state of Alabama. You had number 1 and number 2 in college basketball. So I'm certain that they have been told, they've been the toast ever since it happened. But here's the thing. They've been the toast a lot over the course of the last few years. So I don't think it's a typical situation where the number 1 team's going to have a letdown. But, I'm sure the emotion's not going to be quite like what it was Saturday.
Yeah, and again, the Hogs don't play until Wednesday. So you're maybe listening thinking
Tuesday?
This game's going to be tonight. There are a couple of SEC games.
I may have said tonight.
Well, I don't remember you saying that. If you did, I would have called it out immediately. That's a mistake.
Sure.
But I didn't even catch that. I was just I keep getting conditioned because, that's the setup. You're there today and you play tonight. You come back tomorrow. But indeed, they're a day early with the weather. David's in Searcy. David, how is Searcy this morning? David.
1 o'clock, and I was hoping that would work out well, but I think I've seen a couple of snow flurries as I'm outside right now in the truck. But, Chuck, let me tell you that I hope Alabama's not going to get any of that bad weather down there, but if it actually goes a little farther south, you get out of there any way you can. If you have to hire some redneck in a jacked up 4-wheel drive to drive you all the way back, you do that, because I've heard stories of those people down there, and you don't want to be there any longer than you have to be.
Well, you're right about that. It's supposed to rain here tomorrow, but I think we'll be able to get out. At least as long as we can land back home, we'll be okay.
Yeah. Well, good. Bo, here's what I expect from the Razorback basketball program from now on. First of all, this season is an anomaly. It hasn't phased my feelings one bit at all. I honestly don't think we have a chance to win the game Wednesday, but I'm still not phased. I know how good that team is. I've been watching them. What I see our program right now, where it's at, is we have stability in the program from year to year as long as the coach wants to be here. And that's all I need to know. You know what you're going to get every year. You're going to get some of the top players. You're going to get great coaching. You have a chance to be in the top 25 every season and compete in the tournament. So this season doesn't bother me. And before I go, let me tell you one of my highlights of my weekend, other than the Razorback baseball team. I was so overjoyed to watch Gino bring his girls down there, and from opening tip to final buzzer, put a whooping on South Carolina. It was about time for somebody to do it, and I understand that South Carolina's post player was probably out, but so what? Gino's had 4 or 5 years of Becker's being injured for a year and a half, lost Ozzie Fudd for 2 seasons. Don't tell me about injuries. They whooped their butt, and what a wonderful time it was. Thanks.
You know, there's another example, Chuck, of how we all are when people win. And we got tired of UConn. Now they've lost enough, just enough, that we're tired of South Carolina. At least
Remember
David
when,
is.
you know, when Gino Auriemma was younger and he was winning, everybody hated Gino Auriemma. Now he's like, oh, he's this kindly grandfather. And I'll bet those players will. But, hey, the only thing about South Carolina getting beaten like that by UConn is they're playing Arkansas Thursday night and in Columbia. So I'm going to guess they're going to take out a few frustrations.
Oh, man. By the way, if you're looking for something to watch, I mentioned it earlier. I stumbled into it yesterday as a rerun on ESPN, but you can go to the ESPN app or ESPN Plus and watch One and Not Done. It's the documentary that was done on Cal, I think, back in 2017. And it's just it was always an interesting watch, but it's an interesting watch now with him being the head coach at Arkansas. And episode 2 is also available of Calipari, the Razor's Edge. So if you're stuck inside, you want to watch something, there's a couple of Arkansas Razorback suggestions for you. Now, one thing about that, Chuck, is I've mentioned this a few times today. It took me down memory lane on Cal's career. And when David was talking about Auburn and their roster and how good it is, and we all understand that, you think about Duke and their roster and how good they are this year. Here's what's never been true at Arkansas until now. You believe, or at least recent history would lead you to believe, that your head coach can deliver you that kind of roster where you can have the best roster in college basketball. That has never been a feeling around here, at least in the 25 years I've been around.
Well, I'll go back to what I guess it was Matt said a little bit earlier, that, you know, in terms of the guys who are coming, you know, that we know are coming, 2 of the top 5 players, I'm not saying top 5 guards, top 5 forwards, top 5 players are coming to Arkansas. This team's got, you know, the refrain, I guess you want to, if you want to use that term about this year's team, is a lot of talent. You know, a lot of talent hadn't really, you know, come together fully. I don't think the talent on this year's team, as good as it is going to even approach the talent that's going to be on next year's team.
Yeah, and years to come.
I think it's going to be a whole different level than what we've ever seen here before. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to win the national title, but there's going to be a level of talent here that supersedes what's here now. Coach Richardson's teams were great teams, but the beauty of what he did was he did it with players that were not always the most highly rated players. Cal's always done it, or generally speaking, has done it with the players who were.
877-377-6963. We got some texts, some calls we'll get to. We got a final segment of the Snow Day show coming up. It's on the way. Expecting up to a foot of snow, maybe more, in the northwest Arkansas area. River Valley and south, not going to get as much. More sleet, but freezing temperatures for much of our state. And you still got time to kind of get yourself together, get your things in order, get the trickle on the pipes going, make sure you're all set for what is apparently going to be quite the winter storm, the likes of which we haven't seen around here since about 2011. It's 8:46 Tuesday morning on the Chuck and Bo Show.
I'm not telling you that everything's great. I'm also not willing to say everything's terrible.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Ready or not, it is tax season. But luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block.
Flight by Yuengling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Paschal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit GoPaschal.com today to schedule your service. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
I'm Dr. Scotty Bolding, a native Arkansan oral and maxillofacial surgeon. One of my goals is to make Arkansans healthier.
If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today by correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better.
Hey, give us a call, 479-755-3000, or log on to our website, precedent.com, PRECIDENT. We'd love to help.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
And I listen in every day. Everybody know that. I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
Good. The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
A new era of chicken is here to stay, and it's not your parents' poultry. The Cantina Chicken menu from Taco Bell is slow roasted and perfectly seasoned. Take it tacoed up in a crispy white corn tortilla with cheese inside and out, or wrapped in a burrito with fresh purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. However you like it, you'll never chicken the same way again. Get yours today at your nearest Taco Bell and join rewards to earn free food. Available at participating stores. Rewards points are earned on qualifying purchases. All items while supplies last. Subject to terms.
Hey, Ty Richardson, I'm with my friend Ethan Adamson. Ethan, I know you're a wizard here at First Financial Mortgage, but you do okay with the sticks as well.
Yeah, I've been playing golf since I was 5. I've been in the golf game for a long time.
Question is, what are you better at, golf or lending?
I have to say that equally both. I've used golf in my career to kind of help propel it as well. I used to prepare hard with golf. I do the same thing in work. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5. FFB1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
For decades, the Rebel Crawfish has been a tackle box staple. But now, get ready for the next generation. Introducing the all-new Rebel Matte series of Rebel Crawfish. 4 all-new ultra matte colors that eliminate glare and enhance realism, mimicking a natural crawfish like never before. The same iconic shape and swimming action, but now with a stunning matte finish. Upgrade to the all-new matte series of Rebel Crawfish today at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Dick's Sporting Goods, and local tackle shops everywhere. Rebel. Catch fish anywhere.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Great point, Bo.
Thank you.
I'm Chuck. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. I'm going to start taking credit. Like when you make a great point, I'm going to call myself
All
Chuck.
right, fair enough.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I don't know what it is, and maybe it's why I love storytelling, Chuck, but just watching that stuff that I've been mentioning today on the 30 for 30 with Cal and the second episode of this Razor's Edge show last night just kind of reminded me of who the head coach at Arkansas is right now. And it's easy to forget. And I'm sure there are a bunch of Kansas fans that have forgotten who they have, in certain years. And Baylor fans who forget who their coach is in certain years. But when you step away and you go talk to people in college basketball, if a Kansas fan was to ask, the biggest analyst in college basketball, do you think we should get rid of Bill Self? Do you think we should get rid of Scott Drew at Baylor? Do you think those guys are the best guys we could have here? They're going to say unequivocally yes. But we all get blinded in moments. And I've just been sort of reawakened to the idea that John Calipari's the basketball coach at Arkansas, and that's a pretty good thing, regardless of what this year may transpire to be or not be.
I can tell you when you travel, it's different now in the way that people in other places react. It's a big deal when Calipari and the Razorbacks walk in the hotel, for example. The way people come up and greet him on the streets, even in New York. You've got that factor. And Coach Richardson was this way when it was really rolling in the mid-'90s, but not quite like Cal, and I say that respectfully. He's, like I say, the reaction that he gets in other places is remarkable.
Got to go live to the Situation Room where Edward's filling in for Bart. Brought to you by Chevy of Fayetteville because we've got a new Lenardi bracket out, and Edward saw it first.
Sweet.
It's less than an hour old. He has Arkansas as a 12 seed firmly on the last four in still, so our loss at Texas A&M did not affect our standing.
And that's not a play-in game.
It is a play-in game,
against
Wake Forest.
Okay.
All right.
Which would be in the Atlanta region.
Well, this thing's not going to play out until – look, you could
No.
go get yourself in with
Right.
a win on Wednesday, but a loss isn't going to hurt you.
It's just an update.
Yeah.
13 SEC teams in, which is down one from the bracket we updated on last Friday.
Bart,
and I think it's important to say, too, let's say you lose Wednesday night and you beat Missouri Saturday night. You're not in. You still got to keep winning games.
Right.
You can't, beat Missouri and then go over the rest of the way or 1-3
right.
and think you're getting in. But that sure would go a long way.
Bart, what'd you have?
Yeah, they need to beat Missouri on Saturday. They just need to win that game because that gives you a little bit more leeway. If you lose at Auburn, you lose to Missouri at home, you got to win the rest of your
It
games.
sounded like coming out of the A&M loss, Cal had some tweaks in mind about playing Adu more alongside Z. What do we end up seeing on Wednesday? Does that have any impact in this game? Hey, if you're thinking of something to do today, write Chuck a note. He'll be holed up in a hotel room looking for things to do, walking around the Auburn campus while we all enjoy a snow day. Find him on Facebook.
Be careful
Send
out
them
there.
fan mail.
Yeah, we will. And if you, just as a reminder, the way to remember is your favorite NASCAR driver, Dick Trickle. You need to have those pipes dripping today because it's going to get cold as well as the snow, and you don't want those pipes freezing. Have a great snow day, everyone. Be safe.
And McDonald Eye Associates is my one stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer. And my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye.